lives ablaze, moments that steal the mundane days. No fear, no hold in this maze. Reach the peak of these wild days. It lives, Friday night lives. You die, but Friday night lives. Hosted by Deadbeat Radio, Stuntman Mark and Rebel Rap.
Well, that song is partially true tonight, ladies and gentlemen. We've got, 2/3 of the Triangle of Terror, I guess, because unfortunately we found this out late into this, though, Mark, or Matt, that Mark was kidnapped by the cartel.
Yeah.
And he is currently, we send our prayers and our well wishes because he's currently being held captive in Tijuana cartel prison. And I guess that just goes with the territory sometimes, you've got to take the consequences.
Yeah, when you deal with the yayo, you just got to, you ever seen Sicario? That's pretty much his life story. And he needs Benicio del Toro to go save him. So we're trying to pull together a donation list for Benicio del Toro to go in and save Stuntman Mark from the good fight of the Mexican Americans who go to night school and get a B.
That's right. We've got to hire the Delta Force or somebody like the Delta Force to go in and extract Mark. So it's going to be a process, but
if we can't get the Delta Force, we'll sell for the Mega Force.
Don O'Make says, and this is really the worst punishment I can think of. He says, I heard the cartel is making stuntmen watch Beetlejuice over and over. It's so cruel. Yeah, I mean, that's really the worst punishment.
Yeah, pray for him. Pray for him, fellas.
Oh, very nice. I like you. Glad you got your shirt. Yeah, Mark is going to be on one of the Poughkeepsie tapes. It's killer. Yeah, so unfortunately, our plan was to go through the later half of the 80s to do our top 5 picks, but we're not going to do it without Mark here. So we kind of rearranged the show to wait for him to come back, which he should be back next week. After, Chuck Norris and everybody kicks down the doors. But until then, we're going to do like a basic, just bullshit kind of chat thing. We've got some Scream Factory stuff to talk about as usual. They never seem to be far off of our radar, and we're going to we're going to plow ahead, plow forward, move forward on and take your all's questions, as well as talk about a couple of interesting topics. But let's see who's in the chat, man. There's a lot of people in here that I don't know. They must be coming from your stream. Let's see. We've got Total Meltdown, Vanderhoff, Hoblon, Matt, the other Matt, Alter Ego, Bro, Silver Wings, Greg Brewer, Parik. I don't know how to pronounce this, but I'm going to assume it's Parik Bolin, LA Jewel, Jackie Khan, Cowabunga Dude, Jackie Khan, Caleb Gorzel, Elias Veers. We got a strong Norwegian contingency of people in here or something. There's the interesting names like Coda. Business of Fear, Justin Smith, Brian Sanchez, DJ Mexicano de Texas.
Yeah, he's Mexican. Give us some information on Mark.
We need help in this. Ryan Lund. It's good to see you, Man King Slayer, Noah, Matt, Cheshire, not JPEG, so that's good. Not JPEG's in here. Oh yeah. So dude, Kentucky, especially Eastern Kentucky, has gone. I don't know. I'm honest when I tell you I don't know what's going on around here.
You serious with your law, I guess?
Yeah, within the past year, there have been two things that have made national news for being just like horrible murders. And one of them was the Amber Spradlin thing, which is currently still going on. They haven't set like a, well, they've set a trial date and everything, but they haven't like actually had the trial. They think that they know who did it, and they've arrested a bunch of people, and kind of like they're all out on with home incarceration and things like that right now. But that was the first thing that happened almost a year ago. That made like all the news because of how brutal it was. She was stabbed like a bunch of times, and high profile people, let's just say, are involved in this case, like people that are well known around here. And it basically overhauled the entire police department and a lot of the city hall because of what happened in that case. So you got that. And then just the other day, dude, the sheriff of Letcher County, which is 2 counties away from here, I could drive there in like 30 minutes, goes into a judge's courtroom, tells the judge he wants to talk to him. They go back to the judge's office, and he shoots him 8 times and fucking kills him. And he just, so listen, what I'm getting ready to say is all rumor and innuendo, but like there's all this speculation and talk and all these things that I've seen that like something happened with that judge and the sheriff's daughter. That's all I'm gonna say. I don't know what happened. Nobody knows exactly what happened or if anything did happen. This is all alleged, but that's the alleged motive for that happening right now. That's what I've heard, and a lot of kind of rumor and innuendo sites are reporting on that right now. So I mean, man, like it's getting fucking wild. And before that, like maybe 2 years ago now at this point, there was the dude that lived, this is like 5 minutes away from me, who the police came out to serve him with a domestic violence order, and he shot and killed 3 police officers and the dog.
Wait, who did?
This is a completely different case.
Okay.
Guy was just like holed up in his home, and the police came to serve him a domestic violence order, like an emergency protective order, and he shot and killed 3 police officers. So this is all within the span of 2 years. I'd forgotten about that one, but like this place is seriously F in the A. Like I don't know how else to say it, but yeah.
I don't say now. I know what happened to Judge Dredd. He went to Kentucky, decided to be the executioner. Jesus.
Yeah, we're turning into fucking Florida, man. It's getting that to that level.
I guess they took the purge seriously.
Jesus. Anyway, aside from that, it's hard to transition out of that, but that's what's going on locally around me right now. Well, I mean, I can't wait to find out more about that to see like what warrants, I mean, you got to be out of your head, man, to go into a courthouse and shoot somebody 8 times. Like there's got to be something to that. That's not like, it's not a normal thing. This is a great question. One thing I don't understand is why they legalized weed but kept meeting escorts against the law. That's a fair enough question. I don't know.
Can't answer it.
Greg says thoughts on the upcoming film, The Substance. I don't know if you've. Oh shit, bulls!
Y'all down a boy tonight.
So how you feel about the judges killing your sheriffs?
The sheriff's killing the judges.
Keith Morrison's excited, boys. He gets to come to Kentucky a couple of different times for a couple of different Dateline episodes. I'm sure he's excited. He can eat at Billy Ray's for a few weeks.
God, man.
Well, be careful out there, both. Yeah, it seems like a lot's going on in Kentucky. I didn't know.
A lot of people are getting killed by death.
Yeah, I was telling him, man, like we're becoming quickly the murder capital of the world around here in Eastern Kentucky.
I come on here to bully some people, though.
Okay.
Hell, man.
I'm gonna bully some people.
Yeah.
Fucking create drama, because that's what we do.
We do bully people and create a lot of drama.
Yes.
Oh,
I'm getting ready to go to the beach, boys. This is my swan song for a while. I've got tonight. I did take some gummies, so I don't know how long.
Oh, God.
But since we don't have a topic tonight, it's just kind of we can make fun of Scream Factory and talk about more bullying and drama. That's what I want to talk about.
Yeah. So, thoughts on the film The Substance? Like, that is the new one that's coming out with Demi Moore in it. That was directed by the same person that directed Revenge, which was actually a pretty killer movie.
French, yeah.
So,
Demi Moore's still hot. I still think.
Yeah.
I think she is too, man. I want to know if there's any substance that goes in her and the substance.
She's probably doing that thing where she like takes placentas and rubs them on her face or what. You know what I mean? Like there's this crazy shit that.
Yeah, I heard about that. Sandra Bullock.
Foreskins. I swear to God, that's no joke that Sandra Bullock has come out and said she rubs like foreskins on her face.
Yes. It was like on a daytime talk show she talked about it. I went,
now, no, say what you will, but there's a lot of foreskins that's been rubbed on her face. That's all I'm going to say.
Most of them was Bruce.
Mm-hmm.
Demi Moore's what? She's probably close to 60 years old, right?
She's got to be.
How old is she? Yeah.
I mean, Demi Moore was starring in movies in like the early 80s.
Mm-hmm.
61.
Yeah.
61. So. Yeah. Good looking
That's,
lady.
That's insane, man. But this is supposed to be like a body horror film. I'm really excited about this movie because you don't see stuff like this at all, like come out mainstream anymore. So I'll see it whenever the first time is I can see it for sure. And you said too, we were talking about before this show aired, like Terrifier 3. What are the odds of any place around here getting Terrifier 3?
I was told if they can get it, like I don't know what the distribution is, that they're definitely getting it. That's what I was told.
I mean, it'll make a ton. I know that.
Well, I mean, he told me like horror movies is like their most popular genre. So they get everything that they can get. And then the fact that there's a fucking evil clown in it just brings it up a notch or two. People, they love fucking evil clowns.
That's true. But I have seen some reviews for it. I was talking to Matt about this before we got on here because it was just premiered at, I think it's Fantastic Fest or something like that. And it's supposed to be almost identical to the second film. There's like one big scene that they say everybody's going to remember from it. And apparently there is some, how do you say this without really saying it? Like, that thing you're never supposed to do in horror films? Like they do it at the beginning of this film. So,
right.
Depending on how you want to look at that.
The Christmas scene under the Christmas tree.
Uh-huh. Have you seen the Venom Man, them popcorn buckets have got out of hand. Like that shit's really got out of hand.
Well, Dead Pit is going to be bringing back the fuck buckets. So those are going to be on the shop at some point. Fuck popcorn. It's like
I thought that was.
I mean, I know a lot of people's got more room than I've got. I'm pretty much out of room. I damn fucking sure ain't gonna buy any goddamn popcorn. What are you gonna do with the fucking popcorn bucket, bulls? Now they're coming out with, is it AMC or Cinemark or something like that? They're doing like a Halloween schedule of movies, and they're bringing out like a Chucky popcorn bucket because I think in October they're showing Bride of Chucky in on the big screen. You're probably popping the Blu-ray in of Bride of Chucky in the big screen.
I mean,
get your popcorn buckets.
I like the Terrifier 3 popcorn bucket. Like, I thought it was cool looking and everything. I just don't think I'm going to buy it. Like, that's just one more thing to fucking just people collecting like all those that come out now. I haven't heard anything about this movie, but I'm really interested in Peter Dinklage's Toxic Avenger movie.
I'm not. Peter
I want to see that.
He has like X-Pac heat with me, and
No,
I see him. I just want to switch. No. I'm anti Peter Dinklage, pro Seven Little Johnstons. Those are my little people. I don't care about Peter Dinklage's.
Well, if you don't care about Peter Dinklage, then you're prejudiced in some way. I don't know what way that is.
I'm bullying.
You're bullying Peter Dinklage right now. Yeah.
That's
what I do.
He's a little asshole. Fuck Peter Dinklage.
God damn.
This is a guy that he complained about little people being in Snow White. So then they made the movie with a bunch of normal people as little people. Then people complained, and then they reshot the film with a bunch of CGI little people in replacement of the regular people when it was going to be little people to begin with. And that's how money get wasted.
That movie looks so awful to God. Oh God.
Can we just talk about how fucked that Disney is at this point? Like,
pre-made.
I mean, they have lost so much money, man. Like on films anyway. I don't know, like with the exception of maybe like one or two films, like, and not just that, but the majority of stuff that they do is just stuff like that. And I think after that whole debacle with the Snow White shit, they probably are going to not do that as much. That just seemed like that was a huge nightmare for them, that they're probably never, I've heard they may never release that movie either.
Disney's, I bet they've got a vault full of shit that they probably never released.
Mm-hmm.
And could you imagine how bad that shit is, considering some of the stuff that they have released?
Yeah, I can actually. And some of it will just be a tax write-off. They'll probably make a fortune. This was another big story, man, that I forgot about. What do you think about P. Diddy's recent troubles?
I heard about that.
They caught him finally.
They caught the diddler.
He's allegedly on suicide watch. I'd heard that.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, I don't wish ill will on anyone, whether or not, I mean, some people may believe that or not or whatever. But I mean, ultimately, I don't care about P. Diddy. I've never, like, he's one of those guys that everybody always talks about. I just don't care. It's like Jennifer Lopez and Ben Affleck getting divorced. I don't care. I don't give a shit.
Weren't they divorced already? How many times
they got married again and they're getting divorced again. Right.
I'm not Mexican. I'm Puerto Rican. That's all I can think about when I hear about Jennifer Lopez anymore.
And Nikki Bella got beat up by her husband. Yep. They're getting divorced. Who gives a shit? I don't care. I don't care about P. Diddy. Reginald Vell Johnson, I kind of care about a little bit. I don't want him to.
Right.
Oh, yeah.
I don't want him to abuse Reginald anymore.
No. Let's see.
Puff Daddy don't get a puff pass on his ass in jail. That's all I know.
Dude, yeah, I mean, they
probably enjoy that, actually. I've heard.
Sounds like he's basically running like.
Pretty much.
That would be
the rumor.
Yeah. You're like, oh, this jail's not too bad, boy.
Sounds like he was basically running some sort of fucking torture, like Abu Ghraib or something in his house, wasn't he? Like, just tricking people out that came over to parties and stuff. Like, dude, those parties sounded like that's some Caligula like shit going on over there.
Weird. Who was the other singer that got in trouble for peeing on an underage girl?
R. Kelly.
Is he in jail or what's he doing right now?
I don't even know. I think so.
I think he is in jail because there was worse stuff that came out. But 20 years. 20 years.
I've never. That's one thing that I don't get.
Peeing on people?
The peeing stuff. I don't understand it. There is a weird subculture of gushers and all that sort of thing that they like at. Boys, I guess there's somebody out there that enjoys everything. I enjoy drinking some ice cold peach flavored water. But evidently some people just like drinking warm pee as well.
If you want to try it out, I'll come down there and pee on you.
I don't try it out. No.
Are you sure?
No.
Come on. Definitive film in the Sleepaway Camp franchise.
The first one.
Yeah, I mean, because it sets up the whole, like, I guess mythos of the rest of the films too.
Yeah.
That we're not allowed to talk about anymore. So
why?
We're good people.
Because we're good people. We can't talk about that stuff. We can't talk about things that aren't happened in different time periods. You don't know that?
No, I don't. I missed it. I didn't get the memo. What the fuck? I'll talk about what the fuck I want.
You can't do that. And if you do talk about it, you got to talk about how sorry you are about talking about it. That's the key.
What I like though was it Fatal Games, the end of Fatal Games.
Oh yeah, yeah. Well, there's what was the other one too? The end of hide and go.
Hey, what do you know?
That was a thing. It was a big thing back in the 80s. Apparently, was that was the ending of your movie, and I think it probably came from like Dress to Kill, like that trope. But yeah,
Boy George was popular around that time too.
The Kentucky Cartel. Yeah. None of this shit would surprise me at this point.
Oh, let's say you got 2 super chats, one from Motionless Zombie and one.
Dude, I'm so far behind in the chat right now. Hold on.
I understand.
Let them gummies melt, baby. What you can do is a good way to keep up with the super chats is there's tabs up there now.
I see them tabs, starred tabs up there.
They star them. That way you can.
Parables.
We got to get to the super chats first because they're actually paying us money.
Terrifier 4 was confirmed. Yeah, I think that would have been confirmed. Yeah, no matter what. Because
we need to do a Terrifier like retrospective or something.
I'd like to. I really enjoy those. And people, I don't enjoy them for the gore as much as I do. Like I thought the second one had a really interesting idea for a backstory that didn't pan out that well, but the idea was good.
And nobody talks about the
what? More like Dixie.
All Hallows Eve is where Art the Clown debuted. I don't even know if a lot of people even realize that. That was like a movie that came out 3 or 4 years before the first Terrifier movie, I think.
It wasn't the same dude either that plays Art now.
Right. It was the same director, but they had a different art back then.
Gotcha.
Let's see. There's so much stuff here. I'm going to try to start like. Anybody have any thoughts on Robot Chicken? I don't. I've never seen it.
It's a fun show for what kind of show it is. I like stop motion animation. I'm a sucker for it. It's got some fun jokes like, what if Smurfs was in the movie 7? Stuff like that. So there's fun stuff like that to make fun of pop culture.
I actually saw All Hallows Eve not long after. Like, that was one of those random horror DVDs that was in Walmart when it came out. And I was like, oh, this sounds interesting. And for a while there, I was getting like all of the horror movies set around Halloween. Like that was like a big thing for a while. And I blind bought. I mean, I don't remember hating it. I thought it was okay. It's been a while since I've seen it though.
I don't even know what the shit that is, so I can't really. Oh, here we go. Matt says, I'm a 51-year-old dude from West Virginia. I can say that horror is making a comeback with the younger generation. I don't think horror ever really dies, man. Like what we were talking about earlier with like the theaters is that you can pretty much put any horror film in a theater as long as it's not like a ghost film, because those tend not to do that great. But like mostly any kind of slasher film, I'll say, or anything like that, and it will do well. They just always do.
There's 2 things that'll never ever die. Horror is one of them, and us bullying people is the
other. Yeah,
that's what we do. We just bully and.
Well, we rise above hate. I feel like that's something we do. The one thing that we don't do constantly, we don't play the victim card constantly and act like, we're the victims of everything. And I think that freaks people out because like they love to do that nowadays. We don't do that.
That is an end thing. We got a super chat from a girl. Uncle Bill.
Creaming your jeans all day. Hold on.
It's a girl.
I don't even. Okay, where's that?
The lovely Jennifer.
Jennifer Half says, I absolutely love your accent. What accent? I don't know what you're talking about.
Everybody talks like we talk where we're at.
Mm-hmm.
The New Zealand accent.
But we appreciate that. Anybody pre-order Nightmare on Elm Street 4K?
Thank you for the super chat, by the way.
Yes, definitely.
No, they're going to come out with a box set. It'll be crazy expensive, but they will come out with a box set. At least the first 4 films, at the very least. And sooner or later, it'll be cheaper. You'll find it someplace for cheaper. So I don't need to buy stuff right off the bat because that's a lot of the stuff. Like that's not going to sell out. It's
no
shitty cover, no features. I have no interest for it.
I kind of agree with you, man. Like there's going to be something else that comes along that's better than that.
Usually there is.
Look, guys, I'm trying to get to the as many of these questions as I can. There just ain't no fucking way. Like there's too many people in here. So if I do not get to your question immediately, just give me a minute.
That sounds like the words of a bully. I don't know, apologizing, saying sorry.
Yeah, I'm gasping.
He's a bully. That's for sure.
Don't put your fucking questions in here, dickheads. Hold on. Will you do a video ranking of the characters? Why not? Yeah, I'm sure we'll do that at some point.
I would like anything more than to put that Tina, what's her name? Wendy Kaplan in the drizzling shits.
Yep.
God. 5, yeah. I'll drink to that.
I have not seen Black Pumpkin. I have seen Black Peter though. He's in here regularly.
Multiple times.
Yeah.
All right, a quick shout out to your pumpkin you got, the Spirit Halloween. We were talking about
Halloween. Oh yeah, did you see that? That's the Halloween 2 pumpkin, CK, the one that everybody's screaming.
Yeah. Why didn't you get me one, motherfucker?
I had to order the fucking thing in the mail. Like they didn't have it.
How'd you order it in the mail? I thought they was sold out online.
Well, you can order it online apparently from Spirit Halloween.
Are you shitting me? Why didn't somebody tell me this?
It came in like 3 days too. Like it was super fast. But yeah.
Well, fuck.
So it used to be sold out, but not anymore, or
apparently not. I mean,
it's probably sold out again.
I'll tell you, we went into 2 different Spirit Halloweens down there, and one Spencer's because Spencer's carries Spirit shit, and they didn't have it, and like, so I was just like, "Fuck it," check the website, and it was on there.
I think Spencer's own Spirit Halloween.
That would make sense, yeah.
Yeah. Do you know what's crazy?
Yeah, go ahead.
Oh, go ahead.
Oh, no, go ahead. What's crazy?
Like we were talking about, I think Halloween Express was around before Spirit Halloween. I just assumed there's no Halloween Expresses left, but no, I walked in one last year.
Yeah.
Like what? And they had a lot of the same stuff. But,
yeah, Savannah was telling me that they said, because she wanted to go to one of them. I was like, I have no idea where in the hell one would even be.
Someone says it's sold out.
Joker 2 is apparently not very good and going to bomb. Jesus. I don't know if can that movie bomb?
Anything can bomb nowadays. So.
I guess, yeah.
What's the budget? That's the question. If it's too big of a budget, then yeah, it could easily bomb. Like well, not the same thing, but like what's that guy? The Megalopolis movie, Francis Ford Coppola sold his vineyard for to make this movie that no one's gonna watch.
Yeah. Oh, dude, that whole story gets fucking weirder and weirder by the minute too. Have you heard about all that stuff yet?
Which part?
I
know like they faked reviews, like negative reviews, and they put in a trailer, but it was all fake.
Well, there's this whole thing. Okay, so Francis Ford Coppola funded this movie like completely by himself. It cost $120 million. He spent 120. Fucking choked man up. He spent $120 million of his own money because nobody wanted to make this movie, apparently, to fund this movie. it's going to apparently gross about $5 to $10 million by the end of this. But that's not the fucked up part. The fucked up part is there's all these rumors going around right now that like since he did that, like there was no like studio or on set people kind of like monitoring what was going on. And there's videos of him like groping and like kissing all these extras and shit. And I see, here's the thing with Coppola too, for a long time, man.
He's a
like
piece of shit.
We've been saying that like because of his connection with Victor Salva and all that stuff, like so it's kind of coming out now, like through this movie. You can watch them, they're on YouTube, like all this handheld videos of him just like he was just on set randomly walking up to extras and like trying to kiss them, grab them, like all this fucking craziness.
Not surprised.
Motherfucker probably lived to be like 130 years old too. Like it's always the biggest pieces of shit that live forever.
Yeah, I knew about I mean, I didn't know that, but I'm not surprised ever since I heard the Victor Salva story where
Me either.
Apparently Francis Ford Coppola threatened the kid and said, "You'll never work in this town again." I'm like, why should he be with pieces of trash like you? Go find a cliff to fall off of, you fat fuck.
Go fucking iceberg, pal.
Go fucking iceberg.
Kiss my ass.
We can't answer those type of questions. We're not allowed to due to contracts. Let's see. Fuck people with these comments, I swear to God. I can't even put half of it up. Let's see.
$120 million though, man. Like,
yeah, of his own money.
I wonder what the last big like hit movie was that Francis Ford Coppola even made.
It would have had
he didn't make anything from 2013 to this movie, I don't think. Or maybe he did make one thing after. So it was like there was a 10-year gap, I'm pretty sure, in between.
It would have had to have been Bram Stoker's Dracula, I would believe.
That was that was like 30 years ago or whatever.
My question is, was he a producer on shit? That's probably where he made his money if he was.
So this guy was born in 1939. How old would that make him?
God,
too old.
Yeah, I'm not good with math.
Not either.
If he's still alive, he's too old.
He would be. Wait a minute. He would be 85.
85. Yeah, I think that sounds about right.
Yeah.
Does Tim Burton have ADHD? Beetlejuice seem like it was made by someone with all the goddamn stuff. Yeah, I mean that was my biggest problem with the film is that like it had 10 different subplots that went absolutely nowhere. I just think Tim Burton is. I don't even know, man. Like he can't seem to make a good movie to save his life for the last 10 years. He's just kind of out of ideas.
Yeah, I didn't see the film, but I saw you guys' review, and I just watched Beetlejuice, the original, the other day. It still holds up as a classic.
It's great,
like,
yeah.
Without the credits, it's like 80-some minutes long. It goes like quick. Man.
Well, and that was really the movie. I mean, he had made... What did he make before that? Pee-wee's Big Adventure, right? But
yeah.
Like that one film.
Beetlejuice was the movie that kind of set him up, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was trying to get Batman. They weren't really feeling it because, okay, is this a one-hit guy? But then he did that with Michael Keaton, and Batman was pretty much a sure thing. Because like this guy can make a hit for Warner Brothers. So,
correct me if I'm wrong, but wasn't Beetlejuice the first film that Danny Elfman was doing the score on for him too?
No, I think he did Pee-wee's Big Adventure.
Did he do Pee-wee too?
I believe so.
I think so, yeah.
Well, regardless, like I think it was the combination of like those two guys, like that really made. I mean, because he does the Batman score too, which is fucking classic. So it's like, yeah, those two guys were kind of. I think without either one of them, they're not good on their own, really, or not as good. Favorite backwoods slasher? God, man, there's like a million of them. I know what yours has to be. Yeah.
Right there.
Of course.
I don't know, man. There's too many of them.
Well, what's one that no one knows about that you would recommend? a backwards slasher. Well, it's hard to say no one knows, but doesn't get respect it deserves, perhaps. Or
we watched so many slashers recently. They're all running together in my head.
Yeah, backwards slashers.
Well,
Berserker's kind of one that's like a lot of fun and kind of, I mean, it's goofy and shit, but
yeah, I'll tell you one that I really liked. I guess you would classify as a backwards slasher was Death Screams. I thought that was a really good regional slasher film.
Cool.
What about you, Matt?
Backwards slasher. I'd have to look up a list of backwards slasher. Because if it's just slasher, I would say Silent Madness, which I
think that was underrated for sure.
I first saw that, and it was like a version where it was heavily edited. Just like VJ, it was like all the like these abrupt cuts. Like there's a scene with the girl and the vent, and the guy has that fan thing, and like half of that scene was cut out for no reason. And I was so glad. Vendor Syndrome, there's a lot of things to complain about, but I'm glad they put that out. That was one of my favorite releases of theirs.
Yeah, so they were on a roll there when they were putting, like, I think they had that one out. Fade to Black was another one that had never come out that they got.
Yeah.
That fall. I think it was like all in the same year. I think it was the same year they did Rad as well. Around that time frame. They were on fire there for a while.
Jeremiah, you remind me, Don't Go in the Woods is one. I love that song. Don't go in the woods tonight. You will be killed.
It's so crazy for that movie to
cut you up in little pieces. What the fuck is this? I love it though.
James you guys used
make
like
zero
film stock when he made that movie too. He got a good deal on expired
there was
film stock.
Dude, there was a lot of dudes that did that back in the day. A lot of directors that did that in these, especially those regional slasher films. They would just buy. Apparently, that was a thing. Kodak and things like that. It would sell like film stock that was. If something was wrong with it, it was smudged, the color timing or something was off on it, and people would fucking just buy these directors because it was so cheap. And that's how they made a lot of these films.
I'll tell you another one, though, since Dirk and I are going to be talking about it on the MWO podcast coming up this week. I've got it back here, the VHS copy of Love Butcher.
Oh, yeah.
Which that's kind of like an early, kind of a slasher movie. It's from like 75. Don Jones, the same guy that did The Forest, did this one years before. And that's one that nobody talks about at all.
We did a song on it. It was so popular.
Love Butcher.
Do we dress up for Halloween?
Yes.
Yes. Let's see.
I'll thank you, Bobby, for the super chat. I'll try to decipher this, Bobby. So thank you. You seen clips of new TMT cartoon? Mal will be flipping tables. I flip tables just because the day is too long. Bill and CK will go. I don't know why they go we. Maybe they pissed the pants. Well, I mean, to be fair, Bobby, the next Ninja Turtle thing I'm seeing is a bit of a different course, and Uncle Bill knows what that is. Apparently, they have 10 inches, which is too much information that I needed to know. But that's a different kind of review, but I haven't watched
10-inch mutant Ninja Turtles, 10-inch mutant Ninja Turtles. If they don't do that song, man, they really missed out.
Yeah, I better not disappoint. But Jesus.
Thank you, Bobby.
They make everything.
Yeah, thanks, Bobby.
Apparently. For fuck's sake. Still be better than the Crow, though.
Just Before Dawn's a pretty good backward slasher. Yeah.
Did the Hitcher get delayed again? I've heard people have gotten shipping notifications for that.
Yeah, they're shipping it, I believe.
Yeah. So I know, but that's the thing. It's just like with any of these other companies, man. Like you hear some people get it. It may be a week, a month till you get it. Like it's so random how they ship the shit that it's impossible to tell. So the McMahon thing, this is something we should probably talk about too, because we've got to cover this, man, somehow or another. I know every wrestling site's going to be covering this, but the McMahon documentary drops next week on Netflix. Apparently, it's like a giant burial of fucking Vince.
It's interesting too because the TV deal for Raw starts in January on Netflix.
Yeah.
So that's kind of weird timing.
A lot of people are saying like this is a way for Netflix to distance themselves from that like era of WWE and like from Vince and all that by just completely burying him like right up front. Also, the weird thing about this documentary is that it was started by Vince. Like it was like a ego piece for Vince that started before all those allegations came out. And then they gave Netflix, WWE did, complete creative control to do whatever they wanted to with it. And then all that shit hit, which completely changed the, tone of the documentary. And now WWE can't do anything about it because they signed away the creative control to Netflix. So, I mean, I guess they could sue, but at this point, I'm sure they don't want to because Vince is out. Like,
what's crazy though is like how Vince gets out of everything. Like he's not in control anymore, which is great. I mean, the company they had their most. I know you don't watch it much anymore, Matt, but they had their most profitable year times 10 in 2024 without Vince. So what does that tell you?
Yeah,
they're doing something right apparently.
But Vince always gets it. Like when it comes to legal issues and shit, he always gets out of it, man. It looks like he's getting out of this too.
I would want to say, I haven't heard anything in a long time. It was like, what happened?
Well, he's a billionaire. That's the thing. I mean, they can get out of pretty much money and that kind of money can get you out of pretty much
especially
anything.
With like the woman that come forward, right? She's clearly only wanting money anyway, right? That was the whole point. Why would you sit there and let somebody poop on you fucking head or whatever and continue to take it, come back for more poop? She's wanting money. That's all she was wanting. But we all know that Vince has probably done similar things to numerous other people that'll probably never come forward. But he always gets out of it. I mean, I guess that's money for you, though.
Well, man, the shit that he did before that, a lot of the stuff he did even before that was worse than some of that stuff. I mean, it's more, what he did this time is more graphic, but like, how about the Ashley Massaro thing where she killed herself over that? Or how about like the Ring Boy thing with Pat Patterson? Or how about the Jimmy Snuka thing? Like, there's so many fucking, controversies along the way that he was directly involved in. That
the whole steroid trial and everything, like he almost went to prison for that, but got out of it.
So do you think this doc will touch on the Ashley Massaro and the Ring Boy stuff?
Yeah,
you think it have to, right?
I 100% think it will. Yeah.
Yeah. The only thing about the Ashley Massaro thing is who's left to really talk about that.
Is her boyfriend still alive? Because he was like the primary one that kind of.
Paul London, I think, dated her at one time. He kind of talked about it a little bit on the podcast.
Yeah.
But I mean, I don't know. That's kind of like opening up old wounds. Like the damage is, I mean, she's dead. Like, I don't know. She clearly had substance issues and stuff as well. If you saw like videos or anything nearly, shortly before she died. But I mean, what led to that? I definitely think there was something major that happened there that, never came out.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. I mean, have you ever heard the story behind that too? It's one of the wildest stories ever about what she actually said happened. I can see it. I can see it happening this way too. That
she was overseas for the troops. I don't know if it was, after a match, someone said like they were a doctor and to check up on her, and apparently she was drugged, and when she was out of it, things were done to her, and then she told people, and which is weird because later on they said they were never told, but then there's evidence that they were told. So it's like, well, why would you lie to begin with? That's pretty suspect, and it's all sad thing. I can see it happen. I can see Vince covering up.
And Vince, well, John Laurinaitis like basically is confirmed that it did happen and that everybody knew about it. Like here recently, after he got in all this trouble, he confirmed this. But like, Vince has denied it ever since that there was a whole story where, she went to him and told him what happened. He was like, well, we can't do anything about it because it'll affect our relationship with the troops and things like that. It'll affect our ability to go over and like do that tour and all that each year. So you can't say anything about it. And apparently that's true. Laurinaitis was like, yeah, like everybody knew about it. Like, so, because he's throwing everybody under the bus right now, man, because he's in his own world of shit as well.
Right.
Sounds about right.
Anyways, transition off that. Have I ever watched
in television? It's purr.
Can you imagine fucking that scenario?
I don't want
to. You'll have to review that porn soon, Matt. Like, release that. That's something I have you review it.
What would the title be?
Let's see.
The Punjabi incident or something?
Punjabi poo.
Oh, I don't know. Have I ever watched the Japanese horror movies Evil Dead Trap 1 and 2? Yes, I actually have both of them. They have absolutely zero to do with Evil Dead.
Aren't they like just slasher movies or something kind of?
They're like weird ghostly kind of slasher movies, but like apparently during this time period, man.
Who we voting for this year, boss? Who we voting for this year?
Do what?
Matt Cheshire.
Where the fuck is this?
Who we voting for?
Yeah, no, I'm good. Last time we did that.
Let me tell you something. And I'm going to say this because it pisses people off in Eastern Kentucky. You can guess as to why, right? I don't call her Kamala Harris. I call her my African queen. It just makes people so fucking mad around. She's my African queen, boys. Yeah. She's going to get elected. Just take a guess why people hate that around here. One guess.
Let's see.
You going to vote for Anal, Uncle Boo?
Is there somebody named Anal running, or are we talking about something else?
Anal
Johnson. He's a write-in candidate. Oh yeah, that's right. I forgot about this. There was a whole thing where like all of his text messages were released, and apparently this podcast like read all of them out. It was fucking hilarious.
They're reenacting them.
Yeah.
Come on, get the glass. I've got
Jimmy Snuka thing was Jimmy Snuka was apparently a horribly like violent and abusive guy just in general, but like one particular time with his girlfriend, he supposedly, allegedly, whatever, he was never convicted or anything. He beat her to death, I think.
Something about there was a fight, she fell, hit her head, and eventually died.
Didn't they say that she fell out of a moving car or something like that?
That's what they said, but it seems like what happened was they were in a hotel room, and then they put her in the car or something like that.
Yeah, like that was the story, that she had fell out of a car and like he took her back to the hotel room and then she died there. Was that what happened?
That's what they said, yeah. The story was she slipped and fell and hit a part of the car or something with her head, and that he was trying to like, help her or whatever. But a lot of people think that's probably not what happened. Anyway, point of that story being is that Vince covered or had the whole thing kind of like covered up, and there's supposedly like people he paid off as well around that too. Let's see. Vince is actually the greatest heel in real life and in the wrestling world.
I was watching a clip where you remember they were doing that gimmick where it was Vince and Shane versus HBK and God in that match.
Yes.
Match. They were doing this where Vince and Shane were walking into church or whatever, and Vince was doing, his fucking Mr. McMahon walk and everything. And then I'm not Catholic. I've never been holy water. You know, there's like a holy water there or whatever. And Vince is like, I want to wash my hands, pal. And then Shane's like, that's not what that's for. Quit that. And then he gets some of that water and does like the Triple H spit thing right in church with the water.
My God.
It's like, yeah, there's no question where he's going.
That's very, very true right now. He was a victim too, John Laurinaitis. I fucking swear to God.
Oh, I feel so sorry for him.
I really do too.
So sorry.
This is a good point. The mayor brings up a good point. There's more people in here than that right now, but like only 37 likes. Don't be a bitch.
I'm gonna have to start bullying people.
We'll have to start, yeah.
Oh, thank you, Bobby. I appreciate that. So Uncle Bill and CTA went weak because they went for a ride when I threw my table with the laptop on. They said it was a fun ride. Well, you know what? They can't bully me around. They can't be bullies. I don't know what the fuck the bully thing is.
That's just what we do.
Yeah,
We've always done it. We've
it's
always
our
been
gimmick.
bullies.
They bullied Mark off. That's why he's not here. He went to Mexico.
That's we're just awful people.
Stupid fucking bullshit. Jesus Christ.
What are CK and Uncle
Ridiculous
Bill's favorite Dio albums? That's a good question. That's a good.
Like
change.
the first four, I think, are really good.
They
Holy Diver, Last in Line, Dream Evil, isn't that one?
Yep. Let's see. Holy
Sacred
Diver,
Heart.
Last Line, Sacred Heart, Dream Evil. I think those are the first four.
Yeah, and then after that, he started talking about fucking unicorns and fairies and shit too much.
He briefly got into robots and shit. It was just weird.
Robots of the Rainbow.
So I'm curious.
Robots of the Rainbow be killer.
Which did you prefer, Black Sabbath with Ozzy or Black Sabbath with Dio?
See, that's almost impossible for me to like.
Okay.
That's impossible, man. But well, I'll put it to you this way. I like the album Heaven and Hell better than any other album that either one of those people have ever put out. I'll just say that. Now, in terms of like their body of work, I think Sabbath has got way more. Sabbath with Ozzy's got way more good albums than Sabbath with Dio. So they only have like 2 albums. So
the truth is too, the Dio Sabbath is more or less Dio. Like that, most of that music doesn't sound like Black Sabbath. Wouldn't you agree, Uncle Bill? I mean, there's a couple of riffs, like Heaven and Hell is kind of like a Sabbath riff.
I mean, yeah, I see what you're saying to say, because it's not the same rhythm section in the Dio Sabbath shit, but like, well, I guess it is for Heaven and Hell, but like, I just feel like it's a completely different style. Like the shit with like Ozzy is really, really more chaotic and kind of more, you know, frantic kind of pace than the stuff that he did with Dio. That stuff is very like very measured, but I think that Holy Diver is the best album still. I know that's like the most popular album, but I think it's even the tracks nobody knows about are fucking
straight
amazing.
Through the heart. You know, though, like Black Sabbath to me, their first 2 records just seem so raw and just like so different than anything else at the time. And then like they started getting their formula down right, and most of all their classic, like the first run of albums was within like a probably 5 or 6 year period there.
Yeah.
And they started getting pretty experimental there. And that's when like their shit got really interesting to me. Like the Sabotage album, I really like a lot, and Sabbath, Bloody Sabbath, and stuff like that. But yeah, I mean, Heaven and Hell, top to bottom, is definitely top 2 or 3 Sabbath records, in my opinion.
Speaking of music, real quickly, what was the last new album that you thought was good? If that makes sense, like I know music is what it is today, but is there like a current album? I don't even know how far you say current, but like the last current album that you thought was of note of any way.
From any genre?
Yeah. Sure.
So you're probably gonna fucking laugh at me on this one because I was just listening to this shit the other night and I was amazed. I was like, what? And I don't know if anybody knows about this.
Uh-oh.
And I've been sending people this song and I'm like, God damn, boys, this is fucking good. Right? So Kate Hudson has a record out. Have you heard anything about this? Anybody in the chat or anything?
No.
And nobody knew that she could sing. She's got like a raspy, almost like a Stevie Nicks voice going for her. And those songs are pretty damn good, man. Like she does a cover of, oh God, what was the song?
Are you talking about the one that you were talking about on there?
Isn't it
Voices Carry?
Yeah, Till Tuesday, Voices Carry from the 80s. She does a killer version of that. So that was one that was pretty decent. And very surprising. Like, people need to look that shit up. I was like, and she does it live too. She did a live version on the Howard Stern show. That's where I first saw it. I was like, what the fuck? Who would have ever thought?
Write that down. Kate Hudson.
What about you, Matt?
Newest album?
Music wise, yeah. I'm curious because I have no idea what your taste in music is now that I think about it.
God, I gotta think now.
He did indeed direct Last in Line music video.
Yeah.
You know what? I heard Judas Priest's Invincible Shield. I really enjoyed that one. I think that's what it was called. It came out, I think actually this year. I think that was one. Yeah, Invincible Shield by Judas Priest. I did like that. I thought it was
Rob Halford, he can still go, like oddly enough. Like, I mean, he's got to be in his mid-70s at this point.
Oh, yeah.
Close to that. So I would say like the last newest one. But I mean, like back in the day, it was like AC/DC. That was probably my favorite. And really, I listen like mostly soundtracks, as strange as that is. So just whatever's on like the over-the-top soundtrack, the Rocky IV soundtrack, all those soundtracks, Bloodsport.
Yeah.
I would just listen to that stuff. So, but yeah, the last newest one, Judas Priest, I thought that was pretty good. I like Dio. I like That's probably my favorite song from Black Sabbath. That Dio's saying that. Just called I. But
oh shit, I forgot they did do 3 albums, didn't they? They did Dehumanizer too.
Was that on Dehumanizer?
Later. I think so, yeah.
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 The only thing that I've heard, man, I don't fuck with new music whatsoever. I just don't.
Because you guys are like hardcore. Well, Uncle Bill especially, like rock. Rock music doesn't exist really.
No,
anymore.
bands don't exist anymore. Like that's the thing.
Yeah.
Bands are long gone nowadays. But Tower is the only band that I've come across where I've been like completely fucking blown away by what they were doing. And they don't release that many albums. And they're very, very, unknown.
When was Tower? Is that a older, newer band?
Do you remember the show that we used to have that had the chick that was singing the song? It was like a Dio video almost.
Oh, okay.
That's Tower. Like,
okay, gotcha.
Yeah, Shock to the System was one of their first albums, I think, and then they did the one after that. I can't remember.
They're from New York, I think.
Yeah.
Cool.
No, I can tell you, just no.
There was that one song that was not too bad that had what was the weird little, like, it was some sort of claymation or animatronic thing.
Oh,
yeah.
yeah.
The music video.
Yeah.
That was kind of cool, but that was like 30 years ago or whatever.
Somebody said this, and I think it's like the best example of what I think about a band like Tool. It's like watching watching scientists make a nuclear bomb, right? You can appreciate like all of the ingenuity and the craftsmanship that goes into it, but you don't really like the end result. It's like that's the way I feel about Tool. It's like I get that they're really, really good. I just at the end result, I just don't like that style of music. Important question. If you had to, who would you rather do? Whoopi Goldberg or Rosie O'Donnell?
Rather do a fucking do a dive for a fucking roof.
Dive off a roof.
I used to like Whoopi Goldberg, but that View stuff, I tried watching it and I just wanted to puke. And Rosie O'Donnell has always been a fat fuck. And I think she still is a fat fuck. Never liked her, thought she was annoying, whether it be in movies like Another Stakeout or on The View, trying to badmouth.
What was Another Stakeout the one that had her in the fucking
the dominatrix stuff? Yeah.
No, that was Exit to Eden with her and Dan Aykroyd.
Oh, okay.
They went to the island to be undercover, and it's like all S&M stuff. Just that was a good plot. That was a good idea for a movie.
Oh gosh!
To see Rosie and Dan Aykroyd in S&M.
Did Rosie and Whoopi ever do a movie together? It seems like they should have.
I mean, they did The View, but
when's the last time Whoopi Goldberg made a fucking movie, for that matter, or Rosie O'Donnell?
They're making a new Sister Act, I think.
Oh God!
Yet.
Whoopi was in, weirdly enough, the 2014 Ninja Turtle film.
Oh, that's good.
So that was another plus for that movie. But Rosie, I don't remember what movie she did. Thank God.
She was in what was that baseball movie? She was in that.
A League of Their Own.
Oh, League of Their Own, yeah.
Remember that.
She was in that.
She's in the Flintstones and all that shit. I heard the Replacements. I've heard of them. I maybe have heard one song they've done. Mac Sabbath, I've also heard of. They're fucking hilarious. It's like a McDonald's inspired tribute band to Black Sabbath. There's actually a video where like Ozzy watches them like do I think it's Iron Man ripoff, which is pretty funny. Do you like Green Day?
No.
I haven't heard a song of theirs in 20 years. I don't remember their songs.
I like the first album, Dookie, and I like American Idiot, and that's about my extent of Green Day.
What about Wake Me Up When September Ends?
That is on that album, I think, on American Idiot. What are your guys' thoughts on the band Ghost? I fucking hate that band.
I actually don't mind Ghost. I think those are all right.
I've never heard of Ghost the band.
That's They Call Me Little Sunshine is a fucking that's almost like a Black Sabbath riff in that song. I think it's pretty good. I don't hate them, but I do own like one of their records. I think. I wouldn't say I loved them. They're okay.
Bobby's back. Go ahead, Matt.
What if you were watching a movie and about the beginning the power went out? That actually has happened to me, but it wasn't a movie. I was getting ready to play a video game. I set everything up, and like 5 minutes in, the whole power went out. I'm like, fuck. It's just like as I like finally get time to play it, it's like then this happens because it's Texas and like we're so special. We got our own power. We don't know what the hell to do with it. It's so stupid, man.
What's the weather like down there right now, by the way?
Right now it's been nice.
Been too hot or anything?
Yeah, it's like 106 every day.
Holy shit.
Damn.
Yeah, every day. So the AC is like 24/7, so that's great. But what can you do? But at least we missed the hurricane that went to, I think, Louisiana.
Yeah.
That gets swerved to there, so we missed that. And yeah, other than it being hot, but I guess I can't complain compared to other people. So, but yeah,
make sure your maintenance on the damn AC unit every once in a while.
Yeah,
with temperatures like that, yeah, because I like it cold, man. I don't like it hot. Like if you're too cold, you can always put a blanket on.
Some like it hot, but it's not CK. Corey Feldman's Comeback King is a rocking song. He's fucking amazing on guitar, man. If you haven't seen it,
I'm sure he is.
Shredding your face with those solos.
I'd like to shred his face.
He's an annoying little fucker, isn't he?
He's a good actor back in the day. I like Stand By Me. I like The Goonies. Just he become a...
It's weird what happened to him, man. Like, yeah, how he kind of transitioned from that into... I guess that's what kind of child stardom does to you. You either, like, completely destroy yourself with drugs, or you just turn into like that. Like you're some sort of weird...
He's Spinal Tap now, man. That's exactly what that is. I don't give a shit what anybody says. He knows what in the fuck he's doing.
Even
I'll give him a little bit of credit there.
Even before that, though, he was a weirdo, man.
He's a wise. I ain't saying he ain't a weirdo, but this thing that he's doing now,
he's cashing in on the
right, and it's working. You can say what you want to about him, but hell, everybody likes fucking looking up stuff on Corey Feldman.
That's true. Would you rather watch an Eli Roth movie or one of the Hatchet films? God damn, that's
Eli Roth movie all day long.
Well, yeah, you would just say Thanksgiving.
Yep.
There you go.
Or
take Thanksgiving out of it. Would you rather watch one of those films or a Hatchet film?
I'd rather watch. I liked his Death Wish movie. I could watch it. It wasn't great, but
what was the movie with Keanu Reeves? I could totally watch that.
Oh yeah, no. Okay, let's put it this way: you have to watch Hostel or Hatchet 1. Which one do you pick?
Hostel. It's got more nudity.
Probably Hostel for me too.
That's
that's
rough. I fucking hate Hatchet, man. The first one especially.
I remember you guys' review back in the day. You guys were hyped. See, you were not negative. You weren't cynical. You were looking forward to it. But they said it was going to be a backwards 80s slasher, and it wasn't.
Nope.
It was American Pie characters and a slasher, and they were annoying as fuck.
The Wayans brothers made another fucking horror movie or whatever. It's kind of what it was.
Yeah. But would you say that you guys were disappointed? You're just more like, whatever, or you just didn't care, just it sucked, or were you like disappointed, like you thought with all the hype this would have been a good movie?
It had the hype. I mean, but it was not an old school American slasher movie at all. Like they promoted it as something that it was not.
Yeah.
That was my problem with it. And that it sucked. It was not fucking good either.
Well, it's like somebody was saying too about the Terrifier films. It's like if every kill scene is like this huge thing, then it just like none of them are worth anything. Like, you know what I mean? Like it just becomes annoying after a while. You keep seeing like this, like one crazy graphic kill scene after, desensitized like to it at a point. You have to break it up. There has to be like, just a couple of like, mild kind of death scenes, and then like you spice it into like a couple of just insane ones. You can't have like one huge set piece after another huge set, because at some point you just like, I don't give a shit. And that's all that movie was just one fucking thing like that after another, with no story, no characters you gave a shit about, nothing about that movie that like mattered whatsoever.
Yeah, that was the thing with me. There was no characters to root for, and the villain was goofy, and it wasn't. They thought it was scary, but he just looked goofy. Like,
it's just a rip off.
Somebody at the Bull Creek flea market here, and
they just ripped off kind of like Mad.
He had. Other thing is too, people don't remember, like, Hatchet was made probably a year or two before it ever come out on DVD. Like, they were shopping it around. It was rumored to get a theatrical release at some point, but evidently, executives or whoever saw it, that was the problem. None of them, like, But, I mean, somehow it has an audience. I don't know. They made, 3 or 4 of them?
4 of them.
Yeah, unfortunately, they made that last one, which he looked like they lost the budget in that last one. The Victor Crowley one, it just looks like absolute shit. Like the gore effects look like mannequins. It's just crazy bad. Somebody keeps, I think it's Vanderhoff keeps asking about Sergio Martino recommendations. Okay, so with Martino, his most accessible film is probably Torso, and then after that, like I would say, Your Vice is a Locked Room, and Only I Have the Key. I would recommend that.
Mountain of the Cannibal God too, boys. You want some cannibal goodness, but didn't he do that?
I think that was Lindsay, wasn't it?
Well, he did some sort of cannibal movie. Martino.
Maybe he did. Maybe he did do Mountain of the Cannibal God. No, wait, he did Slave of the Cannibal God.
Well, he did something from the Cannibal God.
Some Cannibal God movie. Do you guys like
All the Colors of the Dark or something too?
Yeah, he did.
So a lot of people, I mean, I'm not gigantic into giallo goodness.
Yeah.
But a lot of people hold him up there right with Argento.
Yeah. Those people would, I mean, in my opinion, be wrong, but they do that. Lamberto Bava is another guy I think is massively underrated as a director. He also did, everybody knows that he did Demons and all that stuff, but he also did that Delirium movie that Vinegar Syndrome's releasing, which is crazy, insane good. One that I highly recommend if they don't charge $40 some for it. And
Blade in the Dark was his, right?
Blade in the Dark, which is amazing. And if I'm not mistaken, didn't he also do Macabre, which is like bad shit?
Macabre. And a lot of people think that he, I think it was one of Mario Bava's last movies, Shock.
Yeah.
But rumor is it's basically a Lamberto Bava movie. That one's really good too.
Okay.
Underrated one.
So I wanted to ask, because I saw the trailer to Salem's Lot that's coming out next month.
Yeah.
Why is it? Because I saw the trailer, and maybe it's just me, but like every night scene looks like CGI backdrop. Maybe it's just me, just the way it looks is so like murky and fake. Is that just me? Like everything just like every nighttime scene seems like just it's all green screen and stuff, or is just that's just how they make movies today?
It does look like that, and that's also like basically what they do all the time, it seems like. Yeah.
But why do you think that, including horror films, do that instead of like, because you don't really have atmosphere with that. I don't think you don't really have. How can you attempt to steer or creep someone out when your film looks like that?
I think it's money. That's the only thing I can figure. Like it's easier to do it that way. I don't think
these studios give a fuck. They've got a franchise that they can promote. It's obvious from a lot of these movies, they don't give a fuck about the actual movie. They don't care what it looks like or if it's any good. Like
truth.
That Beetlejuice movie is the...
There's people that love that movie, man. I think it's got over a 7 rating on IMDb right now, which blows my fucking mind. It really does.
Yeah, people defend it. I haven't seen it, but I know friends who hated it and saw it. Like people just defend it to the death in their comments too. I'm like, okay, you do you, have fun. If you say so.
Here's an interesting question though. What's the saddest movie you ever saw? God.
Saddest movie I ever saw. Shit, I don't know. Sad.
Jesus,
I left the movie theater just sad.
Sad, yeah. Just felt depressed.
Well, I mean, if we're going that route, Ninja Turtles 2014, fucking give to my boy. But I mean, in a serious note, sad.
Old Yeller. I cried when Old Yeller died.
That's true. That's a fucking terrifying movie.
There's a bunch of like Marley and Me's another one. Goddamn bulls. What the fuck? I watched that. I was like, I ain't never watching this fucking shit again. Clerks 3 is another one. Jesus Christ.
Yeah, that was rough. I know what it was for me. It's a fucking kids movie too. It was that Up movie. I was like, goddamn bulls. Like they showing this to little kids. Like that's just ridiculous. That whole montage of them being together and stuff. Like,
at the beginning, yeah. I guess I would say the Plague Dogs, which was the movie. I think we did a stream. You looked at, I forget which website stream. Like you're wondering like what that was. Oh no, it was the other film. But I mentioned there was another film called The Play Dogs, where is it anime film where these animals, 2 dogs, are test subjects and they escape, and the rest of the movie is like the most depressing thing. Where
Born
at the
on
end
the
they're in
4th of
the
July,
ocean.
like Dawn and Mega mentioned that one. That's a pretty good pick.
Yeah, it's a good pick.
Yeah.
That movie, I saw that when I was a kid in the theater. I don't know
Fucking
why.
Martyrs, man. Whenever I watched Martyrs, I was like, at the end of that movie, I was just like, what the hell? Like, there's nothing good in that in terms of like positive in that movie. You just come out of it feeling like you need to go take a shower or something.
Right.
Let's see. Is Rambo a fan of Cardi B? I bet he is.
Sure. Fuck her.
She's smoking.
Yeah.
Cardi B and Megan the Stallion and
smoke all the crap they want.
There's a bunch of them that's got weird fucking names now.
I don't get why you guys hate Hostel so much. I rewatched it recently for the first time in years, and I'll admit it didn't hold up like I thought it would, but it's still a good flick. No.
Boys Don't Cry is it's a pretty depressing movie too. It's been a while since I've seen that one though.
Well, I would say, like, in truth, like, to that, the reason, like, for those 2 guys, they don't like the characters. They don't like the dialogue that's written. They don't like how Eli writes characters' dialogue, because it's hard to root for anybody in that film, because they're just douchebags about women and getting poontang, and you don't. It's hard to care that they're getting tortured for amount of time. It's a tough thing to get behind.
Wait a minute. Did I watch this one? I don't think I got to this one yet.
Oh. If I went to a mirror universe, I would kill the motherfucker. Steal his money. Steal all his stuff. If he's smashing Rambo and Hard Turtle, I'm going to have to kill him. Motherfucker's going to have to go down with a bullet. You know, I'll be like Alec Baldwin. I'm going to shoot him and escape the law. So that's what'll happen with me. So I'm going to steal all his money. I'm going to steal all his stuff. I'm going to sell it on eBay. They'll take 80%. I'll get $20 back.
That's about how it is.
Yeah.
And, yeah. So that's why I'm going to kill that motherfucker. And fuck Alec Baldwin, by the way. Just randomly. Fuck Alec Baldwin.
Well, what's wrong with Alec Baldwin?
Shoot people, getting away with it, for fuck's sake.
Yeah, that ain't his
Didn't they say they were finishing that movie too? Like,
yeah, they don't release it.
Oh god, no, they're not. Well, why the fuck would you want to do that?
It's going to be in honor of the people who died. Rust is the name of the movie.
I mean, forget
fucking want to watch it anyway.
No, I mean, forget anything else about what you think about what happened on that movie. But who's going to want to watch that now, man?
Nobody wanted to watch it to begin with.
That's exactly right. Yeah,
they'll watch it to talk about on YouTube because it's such a talking point. Is what happened behind the scenes. I can see that.
I mean, I could see people going to see it just to make content videos. Yeah, I could actually see there's a whole group of people that would do that. Are you going to try and catch the Texas Chainsaw Massacre 50th anniversary screening? I would love to. I will not be buying that $300 fucking chainsaw.
I don't say
that.
So you told Wes about it because was he going to buy the $300?
I have no idea.
No,
but
no.
I mean, if I've got the second sight, I don't know why I'd buy that. I really don't.
Mark borrowed it. That's why he's not here. He ran away.
That's right.
His family found out.
$1 Million Baby's a pretty depressing movie too. Yeah,
that's a great. I remember I saw that in the theater and I was like, man, I wish to God I hadn't seen this.
Yeah,
we might have seen that together. I don't know.
Yeah, we may have. I'm a big fan of Eastwood shit overall. Last movie or two that he's done wasn't that great, but most of his stuff's actually great. But yeah, that was not one of them. I remember walking out of the theater and thinking to myself, I ain't never, ever, ever, ever watching that movie again.
Yep.
Yeah.
Who directed Vampires? Anybody know? 1976 Lesbo flick.
Isn't that a Jess Franco joint?
Probably. I liked Alien Romulus. I'm sorry. I don't know what else to say.
I'll never watch Alien Romulus, I'm pretty sure. I'll take your word for it.
We were talking about this one earlier. I really want to actually see this movie, but I don't think any of us have seen it yet.
No, I would be willing to donate the substance to Demi Moore.
He's gonna, yeah. Give her the substance. Homeward Bound. It's a sad. It is a sad movie.
We'll make a live action Homeward Bound. Disney is.
I mean, with the backstory, Milo and Otis is pretty sad.
It is. Yeah. All the animal deaths, which none of that is really like, of course, this was back in what they made it in Japan in like the mid 80s.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So who knows what really happened. I mean, we'll never find out, but you know how those crazy fucking people are. Let's be honest. Them big fucking exploding barbed wire death matches and shit over there. They don't care what they do.
That's true, man. Like,
they put cats and dogs in exploding death matches.
They got the alligator pit cage match and the fucking piranhas and shit.
Yeah.
This is interesting. Movie with a guy whose arms and legs are cut off, tongue cut off. He's a torso and a head all bandaged up, mute, and can't even delete himself. That was depressing as hell.
I know what movie that guy's talking about. It was in if anyone remembers the Metallica music video where they show footage of that movie.
And, yeah.
It's whatever that song was.
One.
Yeah. That movie was in that. I believe that's what the guy's talking about.
Isn't that some foreign movie or something?
Johnny Got His Gun, 1971 film.
Yeah.
So maybe check that out. Because it's like a soldier that went through all that.
I have seen The Mule, the movie.
Yeah, I have too, unfortunately.
I didn't think it wasn't great, but I didn't think
it's got that fucking Eastwood sex scene in it, man. He's like 91 years old in that movie. He's got a sex scene. I'm like, looks like a fucking Shar-Pei puppy, like Scott Steiner would say.
Dude, like last time I saw Eastwood, he was growing that fucking beard out. Who the hell, like, God damn, that's not very complimenting at all, Clint.
I guess if you're 91, you'll try everything once.
He just don't care. I don't guess. Yeah.
Who did he have sex with? I've seen The Mule and I don't remember that scene.
It was like a Mexican. I don't remember if it was a prostitute or like somebody they set him up with, like, because the premise of that movie is he's like a drug mule, right? Like, and these group of guys he's hanging around, like, they set him up with this woman. I think that's how it went down. He's legitimately 90 years old in that movie, and you just don't need to see that. Alec Baldwin's a hothead assaulting reporters. And do you hear how he speaks about his daughter? It was only a matter of time before he shot someone.
He's a great guy.
He seems like a stable dude to me. No problems. James Earl Cash Jr. It's a great name. No, we're not getting the $500 Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
Seriously, if you really want it, here's my idea for you. Remember that Black Maria set that came out and how much it was when it came out? Nobody fucking bought it. And then a year or two later, it was like on clearance. That's exactly what's going to happen with this damn set too. $300 for fuck. I'm telling you right now, I'm going to bully Garrett if he buys it. I'm gonna he'll
100% buy.
I'm gonna make fun of him, point and laugh at him, bully him, and do what I do.
I think Mark's going to buy it too.
I'm going to bully Mark too.
Yep. Listen, he's known for his bullying. I don't know if you knew this, Rambo, but bullying is his thing.
I'm learning.
Not just mine. Uncle Bill likes to bully everybody too.
Yeah,
I'm learning things.
Yeah. It's what you don't know about us is that we're assholes that bully people and make them cry.
We're drama stirring bullies.
We're drama queens, yeah.
That sounds like me, so I'm in your company. That sounds like me.
Christian, I know Christian will buy it. He fucking buys everything. He bought the fucking, what was that Scream Factory movie? I was like, God damn, he fucking bought that. Speaking of Scream Factory, As Above, So Below, the Blu-ray. from Scream Factory. I'm like, fuck, what the fuck? But
this is a good question though. Who is the next Clint Eastwood, like a bona fide machismo movie star? Like, who's a guy that could be like an action star now?
They don't really exist. Those kind of movies are not existing much.
Yeah.
I mean, not really. I mean, even if you look at action films, okay, Keanu Reeves, but he's not that kind of guy. Liam Neeson, he's almost as old as Clint Eastwood.
Dave Bautista.
He was getting skinnier. I know he wants to lose weight, but he's like, good for him. He just looks weird.
He's wearing pearl necklaces too.
Why?
I don't know.
Why he said that? He just snuck it in there.
Bulls.
Willie Tyler and Lester says Jason Statham's a great action star.
I fucking hate Jason Statham.
Jason Statham.
He's got go away heat with me.
He was in Crank.
He's like same way that Uncle Bill feels about Jet Li, I feel about Jason Statham.
Jake Gyllenhaal. He does make an awesome action star, as evidenced by fucking Roadhouse, bulls.
What was that movie? Wasn't Jason Statham and Jet Li in one of them Expendables movies together?
Yes.
Oh God.
Yep. And they did another film together called War. I still didn't see the Roadhouse remake.
What the hell? Mid-level me is getting pre-ordered the Borderlands Steelbook.
Of course.
Is he just fucking like?
I was proud of Ken though. Ken shit all over the new Beetlejuice movie, so I applaud him for that.
I'm curious. Did he like Borderlands? It's cool if he did. I'm just curious. I didn't think anybody liked that movie, but it's cool if he did.
Me either.
Batiste.
He does wear some skinny jeans.
Those jeans that have like the little like designs on the back of them, like they're bedazzled or whatever.
Yep. Y'all want to look at some Scream Factory stuff real quick?
Sure.
I think I'm caught up on the chat. At least, I mean,
I think I'm going to pass out here any minute, but I'll look on it until that happens.
All right. Let's see what we got here from Scream Factory, their newest releases and whatnot.
So you say you're going to the beach? Good luck with the beach before you pass out.
Yeah.
No, I think we're leaving probably tomorrow.
Where are you going anyway? Florida?
Yeah. Florida Bulls.
Oh,
Florida.
God. Be careful there. Shit.
Well, I'm not going to Miami or anything.
That's true. Bobby says real quick, have you got the feeling that time is moving too quick? We're all right entering Halloween. 2 years ago, I was Nick Cage janitor. Last year, I was Matt, and I don't know what I'm going to be this year. Maybe Goji Fan 93.
You be Wes. Have a bucket of popcorn and chicken. I do feel that way, Bobby. Yeah, time goes by really fast. And I'm surprised we're in September. It's been a really shitty year, but yeah, I can see what you mean, Bobby. Time goes by really fast. And
I think as you get older, it goes by even faster.
Yeah.
It does.
Sad but true.
You know it's sad but true. Who's buying the 89.98 Hush Collector's Edition with 2 exclusive posters and an exclusive slipcover?
One signed though.
Yeah, one of them signed. That's worth it right there.
If you meet Mike Flanagan at a convention, he's going to charge at least $40. Well, so that's a hell of a deal.
I like the movie Hush, but isn't the cheap? Yeah, the cheapest is $40. For crying out loud, man.
So they're charging $50 for his signature because you can get the Hush Collector's Edition with all that shit except not signed for $39.
Man, one thing that I've never understood, and maybe somebody in the chat can explain this to me. Why do you need another fucking slipcover? What in the hell does that? I mean, what are you going to do with it?
I don't know, man, because that's one thing I noticed, that Air 44 shit that I got. Like, they put 5 different slip covers in there. I'm like, what the fuck am I going to do with 5 different? Like, am I going to take it out every week and be like, I'm like a Barbie doll? I'm going to put a new slip cover on it.
Now listen, that slip cover needs a slip cover its own, and it needs another slip cover its own.
I think slip covers and popcorn fuck buckets and like enamel pins and exclusive posters have all run their course. They need to just stop.
But I've got slip covers over there that I've gotten extras of over the years, and I've got them in a little plastic fucking bag. Like, what the hell? Like, that's not a bonus. Who gives a shit? It's like, fucking,
yeah,
Jesus, sure. Look how damn bad that artwork is.
Which one?
Drag me to hell, the bonus art. What in the hell is that?
That's
the witch.
The gypsy. She is a rock and roll gypsy. Death becomes her. Who? I don't.
You know what?
I don't give.
I'll tell you something fun to do, Uncle Bill. And this will maybe open some of these people's eyes. Is there any way you can get another tab open and go on Amazon and look and see like what, for instance, the Wolfman is on Blu-ray on Amazon? Like if you wanted the old version of it, because
yeah, I can do that.
If you want the 4K, it's $39.98 plus shipping, so it's about $50 after shipping.
Jesus.
Land of the Dead's another one at about $50.
God damn, man. Who the hell would want that movie? Like, seriously. You mean like look up the Blu-ray versions of these movies?
Yeah, look up the previous versions of like, Wolfman was a Universal movie, so what year was that?
Wait, man, this is killer. So here's
what?
Here you go, real quick. Land of the Dead you can get for $8.99.
Yeah.
Right. And it's fucking Land of the Dead. I don't even own it on Blu-ray.
Let's see.
I've got it on DVD.
And to be fair, with a newer movie, I don't think there's going to see much of a picture quality difference between Blu-ray and 4K.
$10.
Yeah, the brand new Wolfman. If you want it used, it's $5.99.
Yep.
But yeah, it's not going to be much of a difference. And if so, you don't notice a teeny bit, and you're paying, what, 40 more bucks at least?
Right.
So what's the point other than, well, what is the point? Why do you think they'll buy it? Do you think it's that much of a difference?
The only thing I can think of is they've got that distribution deal with Walmart in the store. Some of these more mainstream movies, like newer movies, these fucking younger people will probably maybe be interested in those. I don't know.
I guess. Shit. I don't know anybody that ever even cares about that movie though, or brings it up, or is anybody nostalgic for the 2010 Wolfman movie that they want to buy the 4K?
Yeah, someone just said in the chat. Mark said as soon as he said that.
There must be like there must be a audience for everything, I guess.
Let's see what else Scream Factory's got that we can look up, because there's a lot of like modern stuff that they've got coming out or announced. May already be out.
Yeah, and then you have all those bundles with the snow globes and the marble mazes and
so Escape from New York, the limited edition steelbook, which looks like ass. That looks horrible.
It is kind of ugly.
Why is there a green skull?
I don't know.
What does that have to do with the movie?
$40 for shut up. Poltergeist 2 is 36.
Oh, with the screwed up audio.
Yep. You get the screwed up audio version of Poltergeist 2 for $36. The Strangers, $36. Shocker Collector's Editions, $36.
I wonder how much it is with shipping now. I don't even know.
You basically just add on $10, and that's how much it'll be with shipping.
So like $45.
Yeah,
it's that much. $10 to ship.
Yeah, at least. Yep.
Why?
Especially if you use that feature they have where you can like insure it and the tracking and all that stuff?
Of course. Get extra dollar shipping protection.
That Evil Dead still looks like ass. Look at her. I'm coming to get you.
That's the Evil Dead 2013 version, right? Steelbook form. There we go.
Warning sign.
As above, so below. Look at that one. That one's 30. Let's say $40 shipped.
Yeah.
I have the Blu-ray of that movie. It was $8 or $10.
I think I've got the Blu-ray of it too.
It's the same stuff.
I would love to have this. I will not. There's no way I'll pay $34 for that fucking 4K. I'm not gonna do it. I'll tell you that right now.
So let me ask, what do you think the price should be for a film like that? Like, what do you think that price?
I mean, that's a bare bones, fucking nothing to it 4K, right?
There's not any extras on it or anything.
It's the same. It's gonna be the same shit that was on the Blu-ray. I mean, I'm sure there are extras, but like, it'll be the same. Hold on, I guarantee it. They don't ever have anything with these 4Ks.
I don't have the Stepfather on Blu-ray. I actually do have the 4K. I traded Dirk a couple things for it, but I haven't watched it yet.
Fuck me, I was wrong.
I refuse to actually give Scream Factory money, so I just trade for some of the stuff that I want. Ain't that bad? Oh, there's a bunch of new shit.
You know what? What's always missing from these damn things, though, is anything with Terry O'Quinn, who's like the main reason you would want, like, the main guy you'd want to hear from these. He's never in any of this stuff.
Won't do anything. Is he still alive?
I think so. Yeah,
he's still alive.
He did that show Lost, so he don't really have to do anything for the rest of his life because that shit made him a damn fortune. I'm sure.
He also did Pen. That movie's killer.
Yeah, it's a good one. Does it make you rethink it now that you saw the features? You're like,
yeah, he's probably ordering it right now.
No, I can't pay $35 for.
How much is it on Amazon? Is it any cheaper?
Hold on. It's probably not actually, because I don't think they go down that much on their shit.
No, it's some sort of deal they've got with those pricks.
So, do you think like a respectable price should be like $25?
It's $31 on Amazon. So.
Well, and it's free shipping, so that's about $10 cheaper.
Yeah.
If you got Prime.
I think 20 to 25. I mean, it's an old movie that's been licensed a million times. Like in terms of like,
right?
It should not be $35. It just not.
But I mean, even a movie like Stepfather, though, that's kind of a more obscure movie. So there's not many options to get that movie. Like you can get the Blu-ray's $20.
Yeah.
The DVD's $8.99. So, I mean, a lot of these movies though, like As Above, So Below. Look that one up on the Blu-ray because they've got that one for $30 on 4K.
Okay, $30.
No, it's also a Blu-ray, right?
It is a Blu-ray, I think. Yeah. As Above, So Below. Is there a 4K of that shit? Hold on. No, just a collector's edition. It's $27.99.
So it's nearly 3 times the price of the normal Blu-ray.
And you just get the other Blu-ray for $10. This is the one I have.
Yep.
And
it's not a whole lot of difference picture quality wise.
I'd say the picture quality is exactly the same.
Yeah. So
why are you buying it then? Like for the features or something?
Name. There's one new feature.
That name don't mean dick to me. Like, if anything, that makes me want to not buy it.
Well, it means something to a bunch of dumbasses. Say that, bully some more people.
Bully people. Bobby says, "Take it easy, Uncle BBE React, aka Billy Bob Tanley, CKET Entertainment, Talk Nation, and
I hope I don't have any fan freaks. I got enough fucking freaks around here in Texas.
Hey Bobby, I got a question for you, a super chat question. Is recreational marijuana legal where you live at?
Nah.
It'll be all over whenever they make it legal in Kentucky, boys. That's all I'm going to say.
Why is that? So you don't have to keep taking gummies.
Yeah.
But thank you, Bobby.
Be a game changer.
But would people actually take it, or would they like have a problem religiously? Because you mentioned before, like there's a lot of people religious in that. Do they frown on that too?
Yeah.
Well, publicly they probably do, but they smoke it behind the scenes. That's Eastern Kentucky for you.
Because when we get behind closed doors and we smoke our reefer in the bathroom with the fan running and the window open.
Yeah.
It's legal in my neighbor's house, the trailer park. Yeah. All right. Anyway, let's see what else they've got going on here. There's got to be an easier way. It doesn't let me just shift between shit for some reason.
There's got to be a morning after.
You can hold on through the night.
There's got to be an easy way to move this shit along.
Here we go. All right. So Stepfather, whatever. The Amityville Horror remake.
For those
in 4K, boys. You need that in 4K?
Yeah. Ryan Reynolds will never look so jacked as him in 4K trying to kill his family.
I swear, man, that's one movie I watched. We watched it in a theater, and that was it. I never have rewatched it. Never had a desire to go back and rewatch it.
Yeah, there's no reason to.
No. Let alone own it. Let alone getting a fucking 4K of it. Jeez.
Davey Collins says, I remember when they did those Paul Nash sets and used the by then ancient transfers and then said the negatives are in Spain. So it's like, no shit. How do other companies do it?
The Spanish movies are in Spain.
Yeah. Imagine it.
Anybody need a Friday the 13th collection? I'll sell some of mine for $30 off what Scream Factory's got.
Yeah, there you go.
I've got 4 of them that I bought to resell fucking 4 years ago. And them some bitches never did sell out or go out of print or anything. That's my fucking luck.
The Blob, that never will either. Village of the Damned, $40 for that. God, that's a fucking Blu-ray. Is that a Blu-ray? No, that's a 4K. I'm sorry.
A fucking 4K.
Village of the Damned, the Carpenter version.
Jesus Christ. God almighty, boys.
Where's those big sets? Are they?
Oh yeah.
They've got like all the marbles and shit.
They didn't take them off there, did they? Maybe they're Shout Factory. Now I'm on Scream Factory, so maybe that's Shout Factory shit.
Yeah.
Hold on. Yeah, I know what you're talking about. Those Labyrinth and all that shit.
Yeah. Like, I mean, like, snow globes going to be the new thing now after slip covers.
15% off.
Look here, boys. They're having a sale right now on going out of print tiles.
Oh,
look at that.
What the fuck? The naughty cut.
I wouldn't buy that. If you threw it at me, hit me in the fucking head with it.
What a piece of shit. What a fucking terrible movie.
There you go. It ends September 26th. You got to get on that now. Here's the sets that are fucking like $200-$300, I think. Yeah. The Labyrinth Deluxe Edition collector set's $261. If you act now.
Get pins and fucking snow globes.
What the hell is in this?
Christmas ornaments.
There's snow globe, that little fucking worm. That's so
There's a damn fucking one of them little games. What was those games called from back in the day?
Little marble maze.
Oh, God.
That is so killer, man. That they just like, there's another one too that it's almost exactly the same as this for Dark Crystal. I'm pretty sure. Yeah, here
I like Labyrinth, but fuck.
I do too, but who the hell would pay that?
Someone will.
Oh yeah, I'm sure.
Someone will buy anything.
Tony, he'll get it.
You get one of them little holographic prism cards. You remember them fuckers?
They got a scratch and sniff poster. What is that?
Yeah, that's what it is.
This is what the puppets smell like.
I don't know what this shit is down here.
That's pins.
Oh my! You can put them in your hat. You trucker apples.
I love dark crystal, my God.
So the cheapest is $90.
No, hold on. I think there's a. Well, fuck. Is that the cheapest? Surely not.
Super IT Boy mentioned that
on the page.
Labyrinth 4K new, like they have a standard 4K that's out from like Universal or Warner Brothers, or whoever the hell it is, like $10.
Yeah, I bought that when it was on sale. Like,
funny thing is, Dark Crystal has a standard 4K as well. I got that at the fucking Goodwill for $1.
Yeah, I mean, okay.
So
let's see here.
Saying.
Are we getting the Maxine 4K? I will be getting that once one comes out that actually looks like it'd be worth shit. Yes.
Now you got to get the trilogy set because A24 is going to be doing something like that.
Dr. Giggle says he's starting to think this is not just about the movies anymore. I don't know. I think they're pretty honest. Just buying this shit with all this.
Yeah, that's. I mean, that's what it's going to turn into, really. Just they all they need is a couple people to buy it, and everyone. There's always going to be a certain amount of people that will buy enough to help their. Just, I know we can't see what their sales are, but you can't tell me their sales have been good in the past 2 or 3 years. It can't be, which is why they're doing more stuff like this.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, what would you think would have been the big money sellers in the past 2 years or 3 years?
The Child's Play movies, maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe. Is that the only one?
Here's what I'm wondering though: is there a big market of people rebuying everything in 4K?
No. I mean, like,
maybe not a bid market, but if they just get enough people that are the tried and true believers of them, then maybe they could eke out a profit.
I think there's a smaller market than you would believe because the people that do that a lot are mostly on YouTube, so it makes it look like that's just something that everybody does when I really don't think it is. Like, I don't know about you all, but like I just buy 4Ks of shit that either I really, really like or that has never been out on like anything else. Like since DVD or something like that.
I damn sure ain't rebuying As Above, So Below and Child's Play remake and
right.
Well, I just don't like that. I don't get because you can get those. Those are new fucking digitally shot movies. A lot of them.
Yeah.
Those are the ones that look the worst in 4K usually.
Or the same or close to it. You're not going to see a big difference.
Right.
You're really not.
And there's a big difference in the price.
I feel like this shit right here, though, that Screen Factory is doing with these two is very reminiscent of Severin and what they do. Like, I feel like that's just taking a page out of Severin's book. Like,
well, more and more people
that stuff.
Well, more and more companies doing it. Umbrella, I showed that Super Mario Brothers one. They have other stuff. Second Sight, I think they're starting to do a bit more. Well, gotta get on it, man. You gotta be legal. Yeah. Thank you, Bobby. But I mean, like Severin, it's not snow globes, but that'd be funny if it was like a fake French fry, finger French fry you get. But more companies are doing it. Like every company, Arrow Video, I would not be surprised if they start doing it if they haven't already.
They haven't really done that part of it yet.
It almost seems like Arrow's doing less. Like they used to do those chunky boxes quite a bit. They don't really do those that much anymore either.
Oh, okay.
That's a good point. Yeah, there are a lot of movies like that get released that have never been on anything but VHS.
Well, as you mentioned, like the company to look at is Tino Lorber. We talked a little bit on Discord. Like Tino Lorber's one of the big guys to look at because they're doing great work and affordable prices.
Right. And yeah, I mean, especially when they've got a sale going.
Mm-hmm.
Jeez, you can get the Blu-rays for like $8. The 4Ks are like what, 17 or 18 bucks.
Mm-hmm. I forgot about this, but he's right.
They really said that.
Uh-huh.
Bulls, I'm getting out of here. I'm getting ready to pass out. You all have a good one, and
no problem.
Have a good rest of your show.
Get the fuck out
Scream
here.
Factory. I'm getting out of here and we'll find somebody to bully in my dreams.
Yeah. Go play Freddy Krueger. Go get him.
I want to bully all you fuckers.
Bye. Bobby says he'll get a mellow yellow instead of marijuana.
Hey, I'm with you, man. We'll drink together.
Let's see. Fuck Factory. How dare you? What else have they got coming out in terms of Shout Factory? Oh Lord, no. No, God, no. What the hell is this shit? You gonna buy linoleum? Hold on, bulls. I can't hear shit. Are you muted or did I mute it? I might have accidentally muted it. Oh, fuck me running, bulls. Hold on. What'd I do? Oh, okay. So he'll be back, bulls. Let's see what Shout Factory's got. Miranda, linoleum, the Stephen Chow collection. That's nice. Golden Harvest Volume 1 Supernatural Shock. So these are Cat 3 films? If that's the case, they must be seeing what Air's doing. Erotic Ghost Story, Erotic Ghost Story 2, Erotic Ghost Story 3, Robot Tricks. Yeah, vintage 80s, 90s Hong Kong Cat 3 cinema. Well, really, Cat 3 just means they were basically rated R in Asia. So, like, I mean, it could be for any number of reasons. Like, some of them are insanely graphic, but then some of them are just for, like, language and things like that. Yeah, they're selling linoleum and tiles on Shout Factory.
All right.
You back?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you now. I don't know what happened.
Maybe a StreamYard or something, but it's okay. Just a quick hopping back. It's all good.
Let's see what else we got. Born on the 4th of July.
When I saw what was the Golden Harvest?
Yeah. So they've got like all the erotic ghost story movies, and I was like,
damn.
I don't think that's like that's not the Cat 3 kind of shit I'm looking for. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah. How about that movie? You saw the trailer, The Cat.
Yes, yeah. That movie I'm more inclined to actually buy. Really. Dragon the Bruce Lee story is in 4K. I like that movie, but fuck, man,
not for that much. But I do like the movie.
$36. Hush, I would love to have because I've only ever seen that on Netflix, and it was great. But again, like. That's what I don't think Scream Factory realizes, that most people can wait on a lot of these titles. Like nobody's clamoring to buy a lot of this stuff. Krampus. Fuck Krampus. Okay, let me get off here. I'm just getting aggravated at this shit at this point. Okay. Let's see what we got here. What did I think about Run and Kill? Well, I love Run and Kill and I love Red to Kill. I think I like Red to Kill a little bit more than Run and Kill. Those movies, though, man, are not like, I can't recommend those movies to anybody because they're not movies that I feel like the majority of people would like. As a matter of fact, they're probably movies that the majority of people would hate. Even if you like horror films, you're not necessarily going to like be into that kind of thing. It's just it's an acquired kind of thing. Thank you, Big Fat Ussy. Halloween 6 is a great sequel.
If you say so.
It is. Damn it. Okay, real quick. Gun to your head. Halloween 6, H2O, or Halloween Resurrection?
Pull the trigger. H2O, I would choose over those three, and then Resurrection, and then 6.
Damn.
I watch Busta Rhymes any day.
Big Busta Rhymes fan.
I love his character in that. It's so funny that it's hilarious to me. I know it's not good, but it's entertaining to me. I love him doing the treat, motherfucker.
I mean, you go back and watch it now. It is kind of amusing how bad it was, really. Like, just, the webcam stuff and how like new all that was, and the acting, like Tyra Banks and him are awful. They're just god awful actors, but it's fun to watch in a way, like for that.
Busta Rhymes is god tier to me in that.
Yeah. Alyssa Milano, the star of Teen Wolf 3, says, "What's your favorite Friday and Nightmare films in each franchise?" I'm
gonna be the weird one. Jason Goes to Hell and Elm Street 4: The Dream Master, for me.
Yeah, I mean, I would agree with you on the Dream Master. It used to be, I would say, 3 Dream Warriors, but like, I think I've seen that movie so many times I just burnt myself out on it, and at this point, I just prefer the 4th one. And then for Friday, it would be part 2 at this point too. I think that like
it's a good one.
That's my favorite one to rewatch nowadays.
Very good one.
I'm a huge fan of the original Slumber Party Massacre, but I honestly think Slumber Party Massacre 2 is a more fun film to watch.
I do like the original. I have to see the second one again. Never saw the third one.
Halloween 5 is cringy as fucking hell.
Yeah.
This is an interesting question because I don't think I've ever really talked about these movies, but like I like the first Purge, and then I tried to watch a couple of the sequels, and I'm like, I just can't. I can't get into it. Like, there's something about the first one where it had the idea, and like the setup was fairly decent, and the idea of the kids coming up with the masks and stuff was fairly decent. But like the sequels, I try to watch them, and they're like the Saw sequels to me. They're so generic looking that it's just I can never get into them. I don't know, Matt. Did you watch any of those movies?
Yeah, I've seen the first 3, and the only one I liked was the second one, The Purge Anarchy. I think because that was just an action movie. I liked the actor Frank Grillo. He was just kind of being a vigilante, protecting this group, and they're going from point A to point B. Just a lot of action bits. A little bit like the Warriors in terms of just they go on this journey throughout the city, fighting random gangs and groups of people. So I liked it for that reason because I'm an action movie junkie. So I would say the only one I liked was the second one. The first one, I was just annoyed by what the characters were doing and just a lot of the dumb shit. At least to me. But I like the second one, Anarchy.
Favorite creature feature?
I guess Aliens for me.
Yeah, I mean that would probably be mine too if I was being honest. I don't think there's really that many movies that are better than Aliens. Just from like start to finish.
I agree with that.
The Purge sequels got less and less subtle with the message. Yeah,
that's a good point.
Freddie Lit for Bill. Have you heard of At the Mountains of Madness, canceled film by Del Toro? No, I have not heard about that film.
But I know you're not a big Del Toro fan anyway, so I don't know.
No, but it depends on what Del Toro you're talking about. Like if you're talking about like Blade 2, then I am. Or if you're talking about like Hellboy, then I am. If you're talking about like The Orphanage or what was that other one he made? Pan's Labyrinth, anything like that, I just fucking zone out. I just can't do those type of fantasy films.
I agree with you on that.
Yeah.
Because I think that's based on H.P. Lovecraft, that story he mentioned.
Yeah. Would you one day invited Omni Blast Step at Channel? Omni's also a horror fan. Yeah, I'll invite anybody. I don't give a shit. Whoever wants to come on.
Just don't
yes, I do like Ty West. I know that Matt's favorite director. He collects his stuff.
I liked The Sacrament and I liked Maxine.
Yeah, so well, there you go.
That's two movies I liked of his. So, yeah, I like those two.
I'll be honest with you. Like, let's see. So he did House of the Devil. He did. Did he do The Lodge, or was that somebody else? I'm trying to remember what movie he did after House of the Devil.
He did
The Roost. That was his first one. I'm pretty sure.
The Roost, a movie called Trigger Man, House of the Devil.
Yeah.
Cabin Fever 2.
Oh, fuck. That's right. Okay.
The Innkeepers.
Innkeepers. That's what I was trying to think of. Yeah.
Did segments in VHS and the ABCs of Death, which were anthologies.
Yep.
The Sacraments.
Yep.
And A Valley of Violence, which I've never seen.
Sounds like a Dio song.
It's a Western with Ethan Hawke that Ty West did. Then X, Pearl, and Maxine.
Yeah, I mean, so I've liked quite a bit of his stuff, honestly.
Just not Cabin Fever 2?
No, not Cabin Fever 2.
I forgot he did that.
I did too, and I'm sure he'd like to forget that he did it.
I've been one of them money dudes.
Metallic Mark says, what do you guys think of Freakin's The Guardian? I loved that movie when I was a kid. And went back and watched it not too long ago for that Freakin' show I was doing. And like, it's a mess. Like, if I'm being honest, it's got one good gore scene in it. And the rest of it's got a really hot woman as the lead. And the rest of it's a mess.
I would say I don't mind it. It's not one I go back and rewatch. I didn't mind it for what it was. It's not up there with some of Freakin's best films, but it was definitely. Yeah, I never would have guessed when Freakin did it if you didn't tell me. It just seems very different.
Yeah, you're right. Like it's not like his style or something. Like it's not made in the style that Freakin. And I think that's because it was mostly just like somebody else's movie. Like he was kind of a hired gun for that.
Did that movie Rampage ever come out that was announced?
No.
Freakin? No.
It was supposed to come out from Kino, I'm thinking. Like they had the rights, I think, because they had the rights to like all that Freakin stuff. If Phantasm Matt's still in there, he would definitely know too. I agree with this, Julie.
Oh yeah. Well, I think you mentioned House on Thousand Corpses drew on you, or when you did the Eli Rob Zombie ranking, like comparing the two.
Yeah.
Okay.
Do you recall the name of the movie you reviewed about a year ago that you hated about an old lady with an eye patch that played beach volleyball with a ghost of her? What?
That's I think it's called In Our Garden. That's the one with what's that guy? He was the one. Speaking of, he was the cop in Cabin Fever, and he was a director. Giuseppe Andrews.
Giuseppe Andrews, yeah. Dude, that guy's fucking crazy. He did a movie called Period Piece that was like a trauma release. That's just one of the wildest movies. Doesn't make any sense whatsoever.
The same with this movie. It was called In Our Garden from 2002. It was on YouTube at the time. It's hard to describe that film. I'll put it that way. It's hard to describe any film that guy did.
Yeah.
I tried to do the best I could in my review, but it's like getting two old people to do the most ridiculous dialogue you will ever hear in your life. I can't even try to replicate.
What are some of your biggest movie collector's editions or collectibles regrets? Jeez.
Like collectible regrets as in your regret that you paid for it? Or
yeah, I think that's what it means. Like you just regret buying it whatsoever.
Being a fan of Aliens, this is years ago, had they said it was like a replica Aliens pulse rifle. I'm like, it'd be cool to own and just, put on the wall and something. And then when it came in, it was just, I don't know what I was expecting, but like the lights that would blink with the counter go down, they died in like a day. And the fucking thing was broke. And then like, it was like such cheap material that it's like, it wasn't what I expected. So I would say that was a big fucking regret.
I put him up, but my biggest regret's the Dick Demon, of course, because like it's almost completely snapped in half at this point. So thanks, Severin Films. I mean, the quality of Severin Films collectible shit's ridiculously bad, man. It just is.
Yeah.
Like Kathy's Curse bullshit, and then that, like,
yeah, with the eyes.
Okay, here's a question that's not on here, but I thought of it when they're talking about Brad Dourif. Who do you think's one of the, or maybe one or more of the most underrated character actors out there?
God, that's tough. I have to think.
There's a ton of them. I do know.
Well, I mean, yeah, Brad Dourif would definitely be on my list.
Yeah.
Rutger Hauer, I would say, is one who was fantastic.
The guy that was the I can't remember his name. The guy that was the Jim Jones character in Sacrament, though, he's great because he's also in No Country for Old Men.
Okay.
As the shop owner, like the gas station owner, he's always good in everything he does. As is that guy that plays Milton in the Office Space movies. Like he's always great. He's in No Country for Old Men too. Now I think about it.
Stephen Root.
Yeah. Danny Trejo is a great character actor. He's been like 1,000 different things before he was Danny Trejo.
Yeah. Let's see. I would say some people like Clancy Brown. He would be one of them.
Great. Yeah.
Let's see. Brad Dourif, Clancy Brown. I don't know if he would fit, but Keith David. He's a good one.
Keith David or David Keith? Which one's Keith David?
From The Thing and They Live.
Oh, okay. I get those two confused all the time.
Michael J. Pollard, I'll mention him, which he's always fun in films with like Scrooged and Split Second and a variety of other films. Michael J. Pollard. It's always nice to see him in the movie.
Yeah. I love that guy. Yeah. House of Thousand Corpses. He had a role in that too.
Yeah, that's true. Definitely like the pick from.
Bobby says, I already did explain to you about Omni Blast losing her sister to that piece of trash guy. She'd be on Dead Pit. She would feel right at home here. Yeah, there you go.
Sure, why not? They're not bullies. No matter what fucking people say, they're nice guys.
We're just bullies. We're bullying everybody.
Nah.
Steve Neal, this the sort, or I'm sorry, not the sort. It's just called Sorcerer. Is probably like in my top 10 movies of all time. So I highly recommend that you watch that film. How big is your collection of movies, Rambo? Are you stacked to the rafters with piles of Blu-rays or DVDs like Dead Pit?
It's a decent sized. I don't buy as much as I used to. For a while, I was getting rid of DVDs where I would get those cases where you put the discs in just to clear up room. Because I'm not really, unless once in a blue moon, I guess for the most part, I have what I need.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, think about whatever you're doing in your life, there's only so much time you have to rewatch stuff. And it really comes to my head where if I'm going to buy something, how many times am I actually going to watch or rewatch the thing? If it's less than 5 times for the rest of my life, I'm like, nah, I don't think I really need to buy it, because maybe you watch it once when you get it. Maybe within the month you watch it a second time. Then like 4 years later you watch it maybe a third time. Then there'll be like another 7 years. And then another it's like, if it's that, then it's like, I don't really need it. I'm fine, and just let it go. That's kind of my mindset nowadays. But I mean, like The Hitcher, Blair Witch Project, there's a few things. But again,
Yeah.
How about you though? Like, obviously you buy a lot more than me, but I'm sure you like to own stuff. It's just the thrill and the fun of it. Maybe there's other things. Just
I mean, I
check it
got
out.
into like that thing that people get into when they buy vinyls and shit, which is kind of annoying. It's annoying even to me, but I'm into it, to where like you want to have like the best version of something to watch. So like a lot of these films are easily streamed, and I do stream some of them, but like they don't look as good as like the actual physical editions, the 4Ks and things like that, especially not on like certain televisions either. So I got into that whole thing, and then I kind of regret even fucking getting into all that. But yeah, I mean, I do like to own things for that reason, and also for the reason of like the way shit is going with like Disney, which owns basically everything. Like they're gonna fucking censor everything out of all the streaming services anyway. So
True.
Dude, I was watching Adventures in Babysitting the other night because my daughter was watching it, and I was like, there's a lot of that movie that's cut out and edited.
Really?
Like, yeah, just several, at least 10 different dialogue portions are cut out. And Disney,
where did you stream it from?
Disney Plus. That's where it's at. And it's like, go if you haven't, if you want to see something infuriating, go try to watch Adventures in Babysitting. If you've ever seen that movie, like anybody in the chat, like on Disney Plus, because they edited out all the curse words. Like, you know, the scene in the train where it's like, don't fuck with the Lords of Death or whatever. And she's like, don't fuck with the babysitter.
Yeah.
Now it's don't fool with the Lords of Death and don't fool with the babies. And there's just a bunch of scenes like that, like where they took out like the curse words and stuff.
Oh my god. What do you think about what they're doing nowadays with the trigger warnings? Like so many movies, they have like a trigger warning that sometimes will spoil the movie. Like, be careful, this has this in it, and then you have to watch the film. Like now they put a lot more of that into ahead of movies.
Completely think that's, especially if it's like a horror film or something, the idea of having a trigger warning is fucking ridiculous, like, to me.
But they're doing it. Like I saw people talk about, and some of them will literally like spoil the movie. That if it's like a twist, like be careful, it has these themes in it, which you're not supposed to know till the third act. And
yeah, there was one movie I remember doing that. I can't remember what it was though, but and we talked about it, I think, and I just think that's a stupid fucking idea all around. Like,
yeah.
Have y'all seen the film Look? Is that the one with Michael? Is it the one that was awful that had Michael, the guy from Dexter?
No, this is an 80s film. It's directed by
That's
Michael.
Looper. That's Looper I'm thinking of.
Yeah.
This is the whole other thing. Okay.
This is directed by Michael Crichton. It stars Albert Finney. Yeah, it's an interesting idea. It's about women. They're told it's a sci-fi film. Women are made to do these cosmetic surgeries. And what this advertising company is doing is they get the model and they duplicate her to use them later in all these commercials. Kind of like what you see going on nowadays, but ahead of its time. And then the ladies are being murdered afterward, and Albert Finney and them have to look into and investigate. Don't love the film, but has some interesting ideas. And I like Michael Crichton as a director. So it's worth one watch. Whether you'll love it, that's a different thing. But I thought it was decent. I agree with Don Omega. It was a decent film. I've seen much worse. It was decent. Interesting idea.
I have never seen it. Never heard of it. Okay. What is my favorite Al Pacino film? God, man, there's a lot of good ones. Like, I'm not a person that, I like the Godfather films. I don't ever go back and watch the Godfather films. Sometimes if like the first one's on, I'll watch some of it, but like that's just not a series of movies I go back and watch and give that much a fuck about. If I was being honest, my favorite Pacino performance would either be Dog Day Afternoon or Cruising.
Nice.
It'd be one of those two.
Very cool.
Joe Pantoliano is good. Talking about character actors.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Cool Dude's mom wants to know if 47-year-old son can come stay with you for the winter.
Depends if he pays. Pay me. And he can sleep in the shed.
Let's see. William Forsythe, Tim Thomerson, Wings Hauser, Treat Williams, Jack Palance. There's a lot of people named off here. Good.
Definitely.
Let's see.
I mean, as for Al Pacino, for me, I would say Scarface, and I love Any Given Sunday. That's such a great cast.
Oh, yeah.
Even if you're not into football, you got like Dennis Quaid, James Woods, Cameron Diaz, of course, Al Pacino. You have just a hell of a cast in that. And my favorite Oliver Stone movie, honestly, is Any Given Sunday. That and JFK.
I love JFK, too.
Back into the left. Back into the left.
Let's see. He's doing it right now, justifying why he buys the most expensive versions of something. Oh, is he? I'm behind on this chat. Is he talking about me talking about buying 4Ks? Because I'm buying the best version of something in terms of like I'm trying to anyway, in terms of like the way that it looks.
How dare you?
I don't really give a shit like what it costs in terms of like it could be the cheapest thing in the world, the most expensive. But Ragnar is a contrarian. He always has been. Yeah, we're just keeping it white for right now.
Exactly. We got to, we can't march to, he's still a hostage. We can't be making fun of the Mexican American until the Delta Force saves him.
Let's see here. Puppet Master films. Okay. They keep running Puppet Master films into the ground. They must like them dolls.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's the only thing that really works for Full Moon anymore, I think.
I'm surprised they still exist, to be honest. I don't know what money is keeping them around, in all honesty.
Me either.
I know. Yeah, go ahead.
Let me ask you. I mean, what is your thoughts about Full Moon, just in general? Like,
well, I guess in a way I grew up with them because they were a staple in video stores, like a lot of people, and yeah, they were low budget, but there were some fun movies. I like some of the early Puppet Masters, mainly 2 through 5, for what they were. I'm a sucker for, like, sometimes they use stop motion animation, sometimes they used, these quirky gimmick ideas. Even, like, I enjoyed Tim Thomerson as an actor, so Doll Man, Trancers 1, 2, and 3. I liked them for what they were. Like, they were low budget, but they were still a fun mix of, like, bits of sci-fi, bits of horror, a little bit of blood. Like Doll Man, I mean, he shoots a gun and someone explodes. So, like, as a little kid, I'm a sucker for that kind of stuff. But I could not tell you a single film they made in the past 25 years, except maybe Ginger Dead Man. But
that's true. That's the one I think of too when I think about the last 20 odd years or so, 25 maybe.
Okay, that and Evil Bond, like those only two I could think of, and I just remember because Don mentioned in the chat. But that's what I mean. Like, I don't know what keeps them around, just financially, how they support themselves.
That's a good question. I don't know, because I know a lot of that stuff doesn't sell really. Like, I mean, they're not making a ton of money off that website or like selling any of their new stuff. I know.
Yeah, didn't they have a streaming service at one point, or no? Maybe I'm thinking.
But see, my experience is the exact opposite. I grew up with trauma. Like, I grew up watching trauma films the same way. I never really watched Full Moon film. It's like Sega Genesis and Super Nintendo. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
I had a Super Nintendo. I never played Genesis, really that much until Mortal Kombat came along. That's really all I played. But that's the same thing with Full Moon. Like, I don't know a lot about their films other than I've seen Trancers. I've seen, the Puppet Master films. Maybe shit like Castle Freak and stuff like that. But not a whole lot. Like, not a whole lot of other stuff that they did. And unfortunately, Ginger Dead Man, I have seen that.
Yeah.
Are y'all excited for Terrifier 3? I am. Like, I'm cautiously excited because, man, that movie, like, it could be completely fucked up. I don't know. How do you feel about it, man? Like,
I mean, I haven't seen the second one, to be fair. So, it could go either way for me with this new one. But I haven't seen the second one, to be fair, so I can't really say anything one way or another.
Yeah.
But I like the actor who plays Art the Clown. He does do a good job.
He does.
Yeah.
I was just gonna say, those movies just, I guess it's a good thing, but that guy, you never know what he's gonna do, like, in those movies, and it just I don't know. He pushes the limits.
Is this something? If this was made back to the day and pushed the limits, would you feel the same way, or is this something you think has become new since you become a dad and other stuff?
That's a good question. It probably has a lot to do with, like, just getting older and things like that too. But I just think it's that effects and things like that have never been done that well like even the shit that was done in like movies like let's say Maniac, it doesn't look like the stuff that's in Terrifier 2 or what I'm assuming is going to be in Terrifier 3. It's just as it gets better and better and they start using it like in more crazy fucking ways, like it's hard to it's not even like Hatchet. It's like much more realistic than Hatchet or any of those movies too, or Hostel. Um Jack Moorings, have you seen Bad Boy Bubby, Mad God, or Taxidermia? I've seen Bad Boy Bubby. That's the only one on that list that I've seen.
Bad Boy Bubby is one of the few films I just gave up and just said, I can't finish this movie.
I do not blame you.
What got me was, I know this is weird. It was a weird bit of timing because about long story short, about 3 weeks before, 2 weeks, 3 weeks before, one of my cats that I had for a decade passed away. I got that as a request. I did not know about the film. And then I see the scene where he's taking the cat and they put it in the bag. And then apparently that was like a real dead cat they used that they found dead. And I'm like, fuck this shit. And I didn't watch the rest of it and did, hey, to do something else and stuff. So just bad timing. And I didn't think that was needed. And I know that's weird and sensitive to say. It got me at the wrong time, at the wrong moment. I'm like, oh, come on, fuck on, whatever. But if people liked it, that's cool. Just not for me. Not my kind of movie. Yeah, dead cat they found, but I think over there is like if it's a stray cat, it has to be killed by their law. I think that's what they used. So it's not for me. Not for me. I'll put it that way.
What's my favorite Jason actor? And this is immediately dumb question. Probably Richard Brooker.
It's a good one.
Yeah, he's probably the one I would pick.
Good choice.
Let's see. Favorite John Landis film?
Jailhouse Rock. I mean, he's done good movies, from Blues Brothers to American Werewolf in London to other stuff.
Yeah. I don't even know, man, because like he did some really good movies, like Trading Places, and he did Golden Child. No, he didn't do Golden Child. Did he do Golden Child?
No, that was Michael Ritchie.
Okay,
Animal House.
He did Animal House. He did Blues Brothers. He did American
Spies
Werewolf,
Like Us.
Spies Like Us. I love all those movies. Come think of it. If I had to pick, like between all those movies, though, I would probably pick Trading Places. I know that's yeah. But Spies Like Us is another one that's insanely underrated to me as a comedy.
I will pick one that will be off the mark for people, but I always thought this was underrated. But I'm a big fan of the lead actor too, and that's Oscar would be my favorite.
Oh yeah, Stallone.
Oscar. Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Yeah, you had Tim Curry. You had what's his name? Peter Rydert, Chaz Palminteri. I always liked Oscar, so that'd be my favorite.
That's a good one. I haven't thought about that one in forever. Yes, I have seen Bound. Have you seen Bound, Matt?
I know of it. I know the plot and the Wachowskis made it.
It is. Somebody says, I think Steve Neal says it's an erotic masterpiece. It really is. Like,
okay.
Yeah. To me, anyway, it's a fucked up movie, but it's great for what it is.
Cool.
I believe that. I read Charles Mann makes a poster, then writes a script around it. I totally believe that. Innocent Blood. I forgot about that one. That's one that never gets referenced that much. That's a really good movie, though, in my opinion. Like vampire movie with a mafia kind of twist to it.
Okay.
Have you seen it, Matt?
Once, but it's been a long while. I'd have to rewatch it again.
Robert Loggia is great in that movie. And you never see that lead female in anything else again either. But she's, yeah, she's wildly odd. Worst Friday the 13th movie. I think that's easy for me, honestly. It's Jason X for me. I fucking cannot stand that movie.
For me, it's the Jason Takes Manhattan. I can't stand that movie.
Yeah.
Although I do like The Darkest Side of the Night. And I do like BU and VC Dupree.
What do you think about Tubi? I love it because I watch like a majority of like old Italian horror films on there for free. So, shit.
Yeah, they have a great selection.
What topic are we talking about? We just talk about whatever you want us to talk about, really. Oh, Matt loves Bound. I knew he would, that kinky old sumbitch. Southbound. So that's one of my favorite modern horror flicks. I don't think I've seen that.
Might have, but I don't remember much about it.
I'll tell you a modern horror film that I really liked that's not like a typical horror film is that one about the sniper. Shit. And the name just completely like went out of my head right when I said it. It's the one where there's a sniper up in a tree and he's got this family like or this group of kids held hostage and he keeps like picking them off if they try to like come out from behind the car.
Oh, that's Downrange?
Downrange, yeah.
Okay.
I just really, really like that movie. It's incredibly like good, tense movie that doesn't pull any punches whatsoever.
Okay. There's another sniper movie that I liked. It was called Tower Block. It was in the UK, where it was people trapped in the building and the snipers across the other building, keeping them locked down, and they gotta figure out how to escape. It's like this rundown building.
Yeah.
So it's a UK movie, so it's not really a thing utilized much in horror stuff is sniper stuff. Which I mean you could get a lot out of it. So
yeah. That was an interesting question. If you had infinite money, would you still do movie reviews?
sure. It's fun to do.
I mean, yeah. If there's definitely one thing that I don't do for money, it's this. It's legitimately enjoy doing like anything to do with like films, especially horror films. Do you have a favorite animated horror or a favorite animated film? Animated horror film, big killer.
Gotta think about that. The film that pops up for me is probably WALL-E. I'll probably go with that film or Heavy Metal, which are two very different anime.
Yeah, that's
my mood.
That's really far apart on the line of like animated films. Yeah.
But both for different reasons, of course.
Would you consider like Who Framed Roger Rabbit to be an animated film? I don't know where I would put that.
Yeah, I mean, there's animation in it. It's about animated characters. They're all
but if you're talking, if you're talking like a completely animated film, fuck, that's fucking tough, man. I mean, it's not like I go around and watch Little Mermaid or anything anymore. We're like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't know. I'll come back to that one. I have to think about it.
Was there one that you're like, I need to show the kids this? Does he grow up with
I mean,
that?
the one that I always think about when I think about that is like Wizard of Oz.
Oh, okay.
Like, but I mean, it's not an animated film. So I mean, we've shown them all the classic ones, like freaking, Pinocchio and Little Mermaid and Bambi and Frozen and all the shit that,
Okay.
but I don't know. I just didn't grow up watching those fucking movies for some reason. I don't have an attachment to any of those movies, really.
Yeah.
Have I seen Pandorum? No, I have not. It's a very underrated sci-fi horror film. I like sci-fi horror, so yeah.
Yeah, it stars a guy named Ben Foster and Dennis Quaid in it.
Ben says that I've liked newer full moon movies. The new retro Puppet Master spinoff, Dr. Death, is probably the best of the franchise to come out in decades. That's cool.
Never seen that one.
Me either. You'll have to watch it soon, though. You will be required. See the 1996 Japanese horror film Cure. Criterion put out on Blu-ray, one of my favorite horror movies. No, I have not seen that. Send me a copy of it, and I will watch it and review it for you. I think this is supposed to be most fucked up film you've ever seen. That's tough, man. Like,
my answer is probably the same as yours, Greg, because I did see that film and I can't repeat the stuff in the movie. But yeah, that would be it.
I've never seen that film, nor will I ever watch that film. But it's funny that this was brought up because dropping next week is going to be a video that I just did that I think people will really fucking like. It's called 10 Horror Films You Should Never Watch. And it's basically about that subject, like the most fucked up films that I wish I had never watched, but did, unfortunately, and now cannot like unsee.
Is there one that you regretted watching for those various reasons?
There's been several movies I've regretted watching, but hang around for the video to see.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
It's a good video. Good topic.
The Secret of NIMH is awesome. Yep.
Yeah.
I forgot about that one. Yeah. Well, you forget about those ones too, like All Dogs Go to Heaven and stuff like that, like as being animated films. But yeah.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Always. Yeah, I've seen the theme song from a car. I just because we were talking about animated film cartoons.
Yeah.
Anything's better than anything, especially if Seth Rogen touches it. Because Seth Rogen is a fucking piece of shit.
Yes, he is.
What do you hate Seth Rogen about? You just don't think he's funny?
Do you remember? This is when I started hating Seth Rogen. It was about 4 or 5 years ago when he came out and he was like, somebody had made a comment that their car got robbed.
Okay.
And he was like, "Oh, fuck you! You got to get used to it. Like my car got robbed 10 times or something." When I was like, and I'm like, dude, like your car could get robbed 1,000,000 fucking times. It's not going to do anything to you, but just some random fucking guy getting their car robbed, that's a big deal. Just the way he went about it, where it's like, treating the guy like he was stupid for being upset that he got robbed.
Yeah, well, what was the point of him saying that? Like, what was he trying to get out of it?
I don't know, but I just like his whole attitude about that and the way that he went about, like, I just fucking hated him after that. Like, because he's just the same type of like arrogant Hollywood prick.
Yeah, thank you, Bobby. I do love that cartoon for the 2003. I guess that would be me growing up with that type of stuff, but not everyone's going to grow with that type of stuff. But yeah, I appreciate that, Bobby. That's very kind of you. Thank you. And fuck Seth Rogen.
This is a good question. The relationship, this is multiple choice, by the way, Rambo. The relationship between real interest rates and investment is blank. It's multiple choice, but there's no choices. So
we're fucked either way.
If you just had the multiple choices in there, we would have been able to answer it, but you didn't. The worst giallo film, man, there's a shit ton of bad giallo films. It's really hard for me to tell you the worst. For every one good giallo film, in my opinion, there's 3 bad giallo films that have been made.
Well, of the directors, because you did a series of Italian horror, and
yeah,
like well, not all, but like a couple of those directors, what would you say was like some of the worst of theirs, like Lamberto Bava, Argento, Lenzi.
Well, Argento's easy because, like, with Argento, you got shit like Giallo, the movie, which is fucking god awful.
Adrian Brody,
yeah, you've got like, I mean, he made some real questionable in his later years, some real questionable films. Was the Dark Glasses one that he made?
Okay.
So that one's kind of easier to answer than like some of the other guys that everybody always talks about. I mean, of all the guys that we did, I'll probably catch a lot of shit, from this statement, but Martino was probably one of my least favorites. Like, I mean, he had a couple of good films, but like the majority of shit of his that I watched was boring as fuck. I just found it to be just tedious. Like a lot of those films. And there's a couple of really good films, but there's a lot of shit to kind of wade through. I'm 18. I wish.
Same.
You can answer this one too for sure, because you would probably. What is your favorite Tim Burton film? That's a fucking difficult question, man. He's made a lot of good films early on.
Yeah. I would say from me, I would probably say Ed Wood.
Ed Wood is amazing. Yeah. Martin Landau.
Yeah.
God, dude, he did like there were 6 movies right in a row that he did that I thought were like great.
Yeah.
Coming out of the gate, he had Pee-wee, Beetlejuice, Batman, Edward Scissorhands is in there somewhere. It's just like one right after the other.
Yeah, even Sleepy Hollow is a good one.
Sleepy Hollow is great.
Yeah, Beetlejuice is great. Yeah, a lot of good ones. And then for some reason, he just fell.
Yeah, I don't know what happened to him. I guess
Yeah.
Oh, sorry, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
I mean, looking at Pee-wee was a movie that I watched like a million times as a kid. So like I had a nostalgic kind of attachment to that movie. I think most people that grew up in the 80s did. But like I don't think that's his best. To me, it's not a film that like I think is his best film anymore. As is like Batman. Like that was the film like growing up where it was like everybody went and saw that film. It became like this phenomenon that started all that shit. Superhero movies. I don't think that's his best film either, though. I mean, I think Ed Wood is better than both those films. I think Beetlejuice is better than both those films.
So which do you like, Ed Wood or Beetlejuice more?
Fuck, man. What else has he done? Throw some more movies out there.
Let's see. It was Pee-wee's Big Adventure, Batman Returns, Edward Scissorhands.
Mm-hmm.
It was Ed Wood, Sleepy Hollow. Mm-hmm. And then he did like Planet of the Apes.
Oh, shit.
Hell's in Wonderland. Dark Shadows. Big Fish, I think was one.
Yeah.
Dumbo.
Oh, my God. I forgot about that completely.
So, Sweeney Todd, yeah. Anime films he was connected to, and Nightmare Before Christmas, Corpse Bride, some of those movies. Did he do Charlie and the Chocolate Factory? I think so.
He did, yeah.
Yeah, Frankie.
It definitely would not be that Charlie and Chocolate. I would, you know what? I would go with. I guess I'll go with Beetlejuice. I mean, that's the most entertaining film of his to me.
Yeah, it's a great one.
If not, it'd be right behind like Ed Wood. I think those are pretty tough to beat.
It is.
Oh,
thank you, Bobby. Yeah, it got you pumped. Yeah, I mean, you grew up with that stuff. That's the weird thing. Like Bobby, you mentioned about shows you grew up with. That's what you younger people will not understand. Like if you mention to them the idea of Saturday morning cartoon, there'd be no way for them to know that because that's just not a thing anymore. It's been that way for a bit, where the idea of getting up and we only had like 4 channels, and then for some reason 2 of them are the same, and it's like we'll watch cartoons in the morning, and you're like 7 years old, and now it's like, what the hell does that mean? You got your phone, you can watch anything you want. There are 10-year-old kids got their phones, which is a weird thing to me. I mean, am I being over the top? Like there are like 10. Like, would you give your kid a cell phone?
No.
No.
You mean like they have their own cell phone at 10 years? No.
But there are parents that do. Like, how do you feel about that as a parent? Do you feel that's a bit weird, or that's just a sign of the times?
If I'm being honest, like I fucking hate cell phones. Like, and I think most people like do. They're just addicted to them. Like, I think most people, even if you have your cell phone on you like 24 hours a day, you fucking hate it. Like you hate the fact that you're on it as much as you are, but it's a addictive kind of thing. So you can imagine what that's like, you know, for a kid. Like it's that times 10, really.
So why you feel there are a lot more parents just doing that is because they just give them something to do, say leave me alone?
It's become like the norm, man. Like everybody that my oldest daughter is 13 now. Everybody that she's around has a cell phone. They all have cell phones. And fuck, they might even have like iPads and stuff as well as cell phones. It's just become that's what you do. And they Facebook message or Facebook FaceTime each other and shit constantly. And I just like, dude, you know, go get a fucking bike or something. I mean,
do you feel it's a lot more dangerous because now, because they have that access, there's a lot more weirdos that could possibly
go on a Omegle and like see what that's like. Yeah.
Okay, I've heard of Omegle. I never went on it, but
yeah, it's like fucking, you know, just dudes that show their dick to anybody that comes. It's like, you know, it's like a chat room kind of thing where somebody just pops up and, you know, it's the shit that the kids have access to these days is crazy to think about, you know, in terms of what we had access to like growing up, which was nothing except neighborhood kids and stuff like that. That's really what you had.
So I would assume you think at the end of the day it's a pretty big detriment that we've come this far now with just
I don't know who in their right mind could argue against that. That social media and cell phones have really fucking, you know, caused a huge detriment to kids. I don't know. Yeah.
And there's really no way to put the genie back in the box.
No, it's fucking over with now. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I mean, the only argument I ever hear against that is like, well, they've got access to all this information and, you know, all this educational stuff they never had access before. It's like, yeah, but they don't fucking use it for that. That'd be great and all. But like, if you're being bombarded with 8,000 different fucking social media and porn sites, like you're not going to look up George Washington Carver. You're just not fucking doing it. It's not reality. Like, oh, let me see what Alexander Hamilton did back in his day. No.
So do you think it would just liable to get worse then?
Yeah.
Like, the future, like.
Yeah. Well, there's this weird kind of, I don't know how the fuck we got onto this time, but there's this weird semi backlash against it that I've heard is happening with like high school kids and stuff now, where they're buying like flip phones and stuff, trying to kind of like unplug from the social media, because after a while it just gets exhausting, like especially to them, because most kids they have never lived in a world without that. Like I had a good 30-year run almost of like not living in that world. You know what I mean? And not having social media and shit like that. So it's like most of these kids, that's like been their whole lives. So at some point I'm sure they're like, God damn, this is fucking annoying.
But that is weird, and I know it's like, how do you guys get on this subject? But just bear with me. It was like 2 weeks ago, I had this random thought of we were part of an age that will never come back. Like, we were part of a transition where we saw the plugging in of society to the interwebs. Like, we were there in that transition from what some would say the dinosaur age of just you do it yourself, you go outside, to nowadays. And we were there for that in a weird way. Like, we were there for that transition to whatever. Like, we're out here, the old guys, looking out, and now it's a much more confusing world, I'll say that, for a variety of reasons that it take an hour to get into, but it's so much more confusing world out there. I'll put it that way.
Yeah, it's overwhelming the amount of shit that you're supposed to keep up with now. It's just not natural for you to have multiple different things like social media shit that you're supposed to keep up with and messaging and stuff like that. It's fucking stupid. Anyway, what's the worst Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle movie?
The Seth Rogen film I saw, that had April puking and fuck that movie. Fuck anything involving. It is what it is. Fuck it.
What's the most boring movie that both of you have recently seen?
Well, when you say recently, if it's the past couple of years, Skinamarink would be one.
God, yeah. That's possible. Most boring movies I've ever seen. If you're talking about within the last couple of days, though, I just tried to watch a movie called Rolling Vengeance, which it's not my fucking bag, man. If you're into like trucker movies from that time period, I guess that would be I just did not get into it.
I can watch the film, but I know what you mean. There's a lot of disappointment.
Yeah.
With Don Michael Paul is not really the leading man.
He ain't setting the world on fire, I'll tell you that.
No.
What is my Last House on Left poster 27 by 40 or 28 by 41? Twisted Trucker, I don't honestly know. It's the black and white one that's the original version. I don't think it'll be 27 by 40 because like movie posters weren't 27 by 40 at that time period. They had to be at least 27 by 41 and would probably be 28 by 41. Let's see. What horror character deserves a spin-off movie? Damn, well, that is a good question. That's a question that's never been asked.
Well, I know your choice. Ethel and Junior, which is their movie.
Yeah, I was just thinking about that. Yeah. But I mean, I don't think that's the spirit of what he's at. He's at like what horror film character would, like Dr. Satan is a horror villain in a movie, but not like the main character or anything like that.
I'm trying to think like other movies where
there's a ton, man. You know what would have been a killer movie? Now that I sit here and think about it, if they'd have made a Hitchhiker spinoff from the original Texas Chainsaw, had him as like the main character.
Yeah, I could see that. I don't know. I have to think about that.
Kenny Marie. Thoughts on the Sam Raimi Spider-Man films? To be honest with you, to be perfectly honest with you, I watched those movies when they came out. Like the first one. I think I like the second one from what I can remember of it. And I never watched them again. Like I just never watched them after the first time. I don't think I ever saw the third one. Everybody always talks about it being so fucking shitty and all that, like with the Venom stuff. I don't think I've ever seen that movie all the way through. I've seen bits and pieces of it online. But yeah.
I don't blame you.
Let's see. I'm trying to think of what my age is now. It has been since we've been actually really good friends 30 years. Yeah. At this point.
Very nice.
That's true, Davey. I fucking hate that about movie posters too. Like, they don't sell 27 by 41 frames like at Walmart or anything like that anymore. They used to. Now you have to get 27 by 40 because they just assume that that's, what you've got. And that's what like all movie posters are sized in now, except for the 24 by 36 ones that are the video style posters. But yeah, if you want, you have to like buy from these shops, these custom shops and shit. Oh. A Big Joe Grizzly spinoff. Yeah, him taking a shit. He just shits in different toilets.
That's his superpower.
Yeah. Best werewolf film. It's always a toss-up between a couple of different films. Is there that many good werewolf films? If you think about it, like, there's probably only a handful, really.
For me, I always chose Dog Soldiers because I like that blend of action and horror. But yeah, that's just more of the action guy in me. So I always chose Dog Soldiers, also like Silver Bullet, Late Phases, Bad Moon, I didn't mind. Full Eclipse, I did not mind.
Yeah.
Of course, American Wolf in London.
Yeah. The Howling. Oh, Jesus. One of the coolest ones I ever saw, though, was the fucking werewolf in Waxwork.
Yes.
I don't know why, but like that could have been, speaking of like a character that could have had a full length spinoff, that would have been one.
Yeah. Yeah, Waxwork is great, especially that where I definitely agree with you on that. I saw that when I was a kid. Loved it ever since.
Still a highly underrated movie.
Mm-hmm. Probably my favorite Vestron release was Waxwork 1 and 2 when they released that on Blu-ray.
That was one of the early ones too, wasn't it? Like that was the first 5 they did at least.
It might have been. That's why it sucks that I know, I guess they're still around, but it just sucks that it seems like they're not, if that makes sense.
Yep.
So I don't know if it's just, I would assume maybe the stuff didn't sell well or something else I don't know about, but it's too bad.
Well, we're going on 3 hours, Matt. So
just realized. Yeah.
We're caught up in the chat, so I'm going to call it. But I will say this for myself, like, if you get a chance next week, I think on Tuesday, it's that video is going to drop the top 10 horror films you should not watch.
Nice.
If you want to keep your sanity. And so check that out. Also, let's see, what else have we got going on? So CK is going to be out on vacation, so I think there's going to be like review videos and stuff like that coming out mostly.
Sunday you got the Garrett, the Bravo.
Yeah, this Sunday is the glad you brought that up because I would have completely forgot. Is the second edition of the Bravo's 100 Scariest Moments. We'll be reviewing those. So I think it's going from 85, which was the last one that we were on, to like what, 60 something? It's 15 films at a time. So yeah, 85 to 60, something like that.
84 to 69.
Okay. 69. Sorry. And that's all I can think of. Yeah.
So and then hopefully Mark will be back up and running with the internet, and we'll be back here maybe doing the rest of the top 8 films of the 80s from 86 to 89 if Mark's internet's working again.
Yeah. I mean, I hope to God that he's got it back up by next Friday, surely. Like, unless that's like the worst internet service provider of all time. But yeah, once he gets back, we'll definitely continue on with the 80s, because I want to get to that for sure. But what do you got coming up, Matt? Like, what's going on the channel?
Well, just a bunch of random requests I got that I'll be fulfilling, whether it be the review of an episode of The Confession Killer on Henry Lee Lucas, was still so far very interesting documentary series. The episode I saw ended with, which is crazy because it's real, where it was the district attorney. He was looking up information, and then a cop he knew told him something's up, and when they tried going to the computer, they were denied and blocked by the other cops. So you tell there's a bit of a cover-up going on because of what they were doing. Just a fascinating dive into, funny enough, what we were saying at the beginning, like the corruption of certain officials and how they're not always on the up and up.
Yeah, we're eat up with it around here. Like, it's real bad.
But other requests to fulfill, Beetlejuice, watch that again. Still holds up. Still a great movie. The Neverending Story, The Princess Bride, some reactions, some commentaries, some video game playthroughs. Thanks to people out there for the requests. And more to come. Films like The Fall Guy I'll be checking out. Burt Reynolds' film called Gator. Steenie Batista and the Killer's Game. 10-inch Mutant Ninja Turtles, which was a real movie, real request.
I cannot wait to watch that review.
And more to come, thanks to people out there, and we'll see how that goes. So that'll be all good.
That's crazy to me. I'm actually curious to see what you think about The Fall Guy too, though, because I haven't seen that, and I've been wondering kind of how that movie is.
Yeah, I'm definitely curious about it. I know it didn't do well, but that doesn't mean it's a bad movie. I mean, look at films that did do well.
Exactly. Yeah. I mean, I don't go by what anybody says is good because people love Beetlejuice. I'm just like, what the? They love Alien. Like,
Romulus, yeah.
So the mainstream public's opinion of movies does not mean anything to me. Is 10-inch Mutant Ninja Turtles another point? What do you think, Jackson Jack? Like, I mean,
that would be a yes, I guess, because my review of Everybody Loves or Everybody Needs MILF was popular enough to get another request. I will say they're still better than Alien Romulus. So but they're pretty hilarious.
We've had like a ton of people in here all night, even right now. So I appreciate that. Like, thank everybody for coming in. Like, insane to have this many people this late and to continuously be able to do this. We appreciate it. So if you like what you see, hit the like button. You gotta hit it with both fingers like that, right there, and then do some of this, that right there, pop and lock, and then make sure you check out Rambo's channel as well as what we've got coming up. So Sunday will be the show with Garrett. That's a big show. A lot of people like that. I've also got a review video for Red to Kill. It's out right now. If you're into Cat 3 stuff, check out that review video. And then hopefully Stuntman will be out of the cartel prison system soon once he pays off his debts, which you don't want to know how he's going to do that. But until then, I'm Uncle Bill, and he is Rambo Ref, and we will see you guys. We're out.
I'd like to tell people, thumbs up the video, Uncle Bill.
Would you?
Yes. Thumbs it up with violence and fury, and just love everything about it.
You hit the heart button, then you hit the ass button, then you hit the go fuck yourself button. Follow that up with the I don't give a shit button.
There's all kinds of wonderful shirts over at shop.deadpit.com. Simply the best horror shirts. On TeePublic, there are others, but they all suck. You can get some Dead Pit Radio shirts. You can get Last House on the Left. The Hills Have Eyes. Texas Chainsaw. Oh, wait, you can't say Texas Chainsaw. All kinds of shirts, folks. You're gonna love them. Shop.deadpit.com.
Special thanks goes out to our supporters on Patreon. Do you know what kind of stuff you can get on Patreon, Uncle Bill, starting at only $1 a month?
What's that?
Access to every Dead Pit show since 2005. We got almost 200 fan commentaries that we've done over the decades.
We have a literal jukebox full of songs and thousands of reviews. I don't even know how many shows are up on there now that we've done over the years.
Hundreds of thousands.
You need to figure this out now and subscribe to us on Patreon and YouTube and Instagram and help us to 1 million. The road to 1 million subscribers starts today.
So deadpitonpatreon.com. Join today. Tiers start at only $1, but I'd recommend at least the $10 tier.